It is the best day of the year. It is Selection Sunday for the 2026 March Madness Tournament. We just had the final Big Ten championship game go final as Purdue upsets Michigan. So that may throw some intrigue into the 1 seed discussion, but we will have an official bracket in about 30 minutes. I am Nick Rohloff. I'll be joined by Tyler Smith very shortly, but we will see all 68 teams competing for the 2026 national title. We have a lot of good opponents here. We have got Arizona, you got Duke, you got Michigan, Florida looking to repeat as champions. They've gotten hot as of late, but took an early exit in the SEC tournament. It is going to be a very fun tournament this year, and I can't wait for it. And that is where we welcome in Mr. Tyler Smith. 27 minutes and change until we see a bracket. Shout out your favorite college basketball team for me down in the comment section. But also, Mr. Smitty, how are we?
This is March. Christmas, I always call this Christmas Eve, and then we got to wait 4 days for Christmas Day, but there aren't many days on the calendar that I have pinpointed more than Selection Sunday. We're seeing, like you mentioned, some of the teams that are going to be seeded very, very highly, some of the most talented teams that we've ever seen in the college basketball sphere due to all the NIL and all these top teams taking the top talent away. We've seen some very high-level basketball, but that caused for a lot of chalk in last year's NCAA tournament. This year, I think we're going to get back to seeing some double-digit seeds, maybe a Cinderella or two, and hopefully it's not one that's a Power 5. We see a true Cinderella emerge this March.
Yeah, I mean, you look at some of these teams out there, and you look at some historically dominant teams this year, Duke, Michigan, Arizona, but then you also look at the 3 seeds, the 4 seeds, at least on projections this year, and there are a lot of holes in these roster. I mean, you look at a team like Purdue, like coming into this week where they just won the Big Ten tournament, a lot of people thought they could be an exit in the round of 64. I'm not sold on other Big Ten teams, and we'll talk more about it, but like Michigan State, Nebraska, they don't inspire me with a lot of confidence, but this is going to be a perfect March storm because I mentioned it. You do have historical dominant teams. You also have unbelievable prospects for the next level. AJ DeBansta, Cameron Boozer, Darren Peterson, Braden Burries, Kingston Flemings, Darius Acuff. You want to talk about a guy that is made for March.
Waiting for that
Darius Acuff. We'll talk about him here in a second. But I do want to give some shout outs to the people in the chat. Shout out to Sports Excellence, rocking with Duke. Bright Wolf, rocking with Georgia, likely going to be in that 8-9 line. Speaking of 8-9 line, El Jefe rocking with the Iowa Hawkeyes. Demetrius Johnson, Ohio State Buckeyes. Should hear their name called today, but they are close to that bubble. We got Vance rocking with Georgia. We got CJ Harris going with the Razorbacks. John Calipari, maybe the best guard he has ever coached at the collegiate level. Some are saying it. A lot of people bring up John Wall, obviously, but you look at Acuff and what he's been able to do this year. Ridiculous numbers. They are SEC champions.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about, especially since Richie Saunders went down at BYU, the AJ DeBanza video game-like numbers. Darius Acuff is doing something in multiple games that players in the SEC haven't done in decades. I think he was the first player today in the SEC title game to have 30 points and 10 assists in the last 30 years. Like, that's disgusting. He can hit a shot from anywhere on the court. He actually gets in your face and guards you. He's one of the most exciting players in the country, and I really do believe that if Arkansas is to make a run, it's going to be on the back of Darius Acuff.
Yeah, Acuff's special, but you also look at that team. Smitty, we actually saw them in person.
We did.
We went to Texas Tech and Arkansas. They played in Dallas in a neutral site game. It was a barn burner from wire to wire, and we both came away from that game, a game that Arkansas won, by the way, with JT Toppin at Texas Tech. He was healthy playing at the time.
Yep.
We were taken aback from it and saying, wow, I mean, that team's got some interesting players. When Trayvon Brazile plays well, Billy Richmond has been coming on, Malik Thomas and Acuff, the 2 freshman guards, DJ Wagner coming off the bench. If that front court shows up in the tournament, that Arkansas team can make a run, and we both believe that. We'll talk more about them. We're teasing it coming up here in just a second. But I do want to bring this discussion to the forefront. Who is the best team? These are very well likely going to be the number 1 overall seed, the number 2 overall seed, and the number 3 overall seed. Duke, Michigan, Arizona. I want to know who you guys think is the best team in college basketball this season. Each of these 3 teams finished their regular and postseason with a plus 35 net rating or better on KenPom. I bring up that number specifically because that is the benchmark for historical dominance. Last year's Florida Gators team was above that line. We have 3 teams above that line this year. These teams have been unbelievable all season long. I think one of these 3 teams wins the national championship. Hate to go chalk here. Smitty, what are your thoughts? Who is the best team in college basketball?
Well, only 2 of these 3 teams actually ended up winning their conference tournament, and the one that didn't was my preseason national title pick, the Michigan Wolverines. Now, I still do believe that they have as good of a defensive unit as there is in college basketball. You can talk about Duke's defense, too, is unbelievable. Iowa State, another one of those great units around the country. But Michigan, man, the size they have up front. Yaxel Lindenberg is, you could say he's the best player in the country, maybe opposite Cam Boozer there. Those 2 battled a couple of weeks ago. What a game that was. I do have a little bit of concerns over the scoring in the backcourt for Michigan here. I have concerns over Duke in terms of what they're going to do late in games. Do they have a guy that they can just give the ball to? He can put it on the deck and go get you a bucket when you need it? I'm not so sure. Is it going to be Isaiah Evans? They're going to throw it down low to Boozer. I don't know where they go in that scenario, so I have a bit of reservations on them. Maybe once they get to the Final Four. Arizona, we've been talking about a pre-show. They look like a team with no holes right now.
Yeah, they've been playing really well. The only thing you knock on them is their lack of three-point shooting at time, but they really have an elite front court. Awaka off the bench. You've got Krivas just dominating that paint. Koa Pete is an excellent connecting defender. You've got freshmen. You've got upperclassmen. Della Rosso off the bench. I mean, those 2 guys, Toby Awaka and Della Rosso, started last season for the Wildcats. Now they come off the bench because they got big-time freshmen and Burries and Pete in that starting lineup, and they haven't skipped a beat. Also have Kurchenkov, which I like a lot. I'm a big fan of the Wildcats this year. 21 minutes to go until the bracket reveal. We are going to welcome in producer Jeffrey Cooperstein, who wants us to get more likes on the video. We have 360 people watching, only 31 likes. We need to get to 150 ASAP. Hit that thumbs up icon if you're ready for the selection show. But I also know Mr. Cooperstein has something to say about who the best team in college basketball is, because his team was not on the list we just showed.
Unfortunately, my North Texas Mean Green will not be dancing this year. The Texas Longhorns may be in the last 4 in, even though I don't think they deserve it, but the Florida Gators are the most well-rounded and best team in the country. It all depends on their guard. Xavier Lee, Boogie Fland, if those guys show up, no one's beating them.
I think they'll make a run no matter what because of how dominant their front court is.
Yeah,
it's just unbelievable. But when it comes to the top-tier competition, do you trust Xavier Lee and Boogie Fland to get it done when it matters? I absolutely do not.
I trust Xavier Lee.
I mean, when you think about a lot of these teams that are projected to be on that one line, they have incredible balance. Florida gives me, like, those guards they're unreliable in some key moments down this season. And
they just got ran off the floor by Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's a good team, but ran off the floor.
Are they a great team? Like, I don't know, but the talent at the top. Like, I'm hoping the way the tournament shakes out is we get chaos early and the best teams late. And I think those 4, are going to be alive toward the end.
Yeah, but we, folks, need to hit that thumbs up icon. Only 52 likes. We want to talk about the bubble, who's going to get in, who's going to go to Dayton, who's going to be left out. But we're not moving on with the live show until we get to 150 likes. That's what Coop told me in my ear. That's what the bosses are telling me over Slack.
Oh, no.
So hit that thumbs up icon. Let's get to 150 likes right now. Help me out. Tom Sipe has liked the video.
Oh,
Shout out to the goat,
Shout out
Tom
Sipe.
Sipe. Shout out Elise Tanner. Hit that thumbs up icon. Let's get to 150 likes. Come on. Takes 1 second out of your time here live for a Selection Sunday special. We started doing this in 2023. It has just been a home run success each of the last 3 years, and we want to continue to do it for years to follow, but we need the like number to increase. Let's get to 150. We're halfway there. We're at 75. Help me out and hit that thumbs up icon.
When you have hit that like button, type me in the chat, and we'll give out a couple of shout outs to those of you who have gone down below and hit the thumbs up button. Type me if you hit that like button while we are on the way to 150.
Yeah, look, we're on the way here, folks. 19 minutes to go until we have a bracket. God, Smitty, you and I were talking about it. Same thing with Coop. You said Christmas Eve. You said then Christmas is Thursday. There is really nothing like the next 3.5, 4 hours, because we will see the bracket, we'll react to the bracket, we'll talk bracket, we'll make a bracket. There's nothing better than the word bracket.
It's nothing better than the word bracket, and like a little bit of a cherry on top. I know my guy Tom Sipe in the chat loves this aspect of things too. A couple hours after the bracket is revealed is when we get the tip times, when we see how we're going to schedule out our day. Where are we going to quad box at noon on Thursdays and Friday? I'm absolutely fired up.
And we'll find
for
out.
all of it.
We'll find out which 4-seed loses based off where Sparoditas is.
Yeah.
Every Sparoditas game he calls in March Madness, that 4-seed is going down. But shout out Sipe, who's liked the video. Mike, Angry. What'd you say? No, we're good. Master of Rage, Ed Dobbins, Riley Shea, Tyler, Mike Dibble's in the building. Dibble! Your NC State Wolfpack on the bubble. We'll talk about them here in just 1 second.
They're bubbly.
But we got to get to that 150 like number. I hate to keep on barring you guys and bombarding you, but we need to get that 150 like number. We're not moving on till we get there. So if you want me to shut up and stop talking about it, shut me up. Let's get to 150 likes. We're 55 away.
Let's go. Man, this is the best. This is the best sporting event of the year. 17 minutes out from a bracket being revealed, one by one, region by region. And I already know this chat, this stream is going to be an absolute storm.
It always is. It always gets chaotic here on the Selection Sunday stream here at Chat Sports. A lot of fun hanging out. Appreciate everybody for hitting that thumbs up icon. Keep doing it. Let's get to 150. But let's talk about the bubble now, Smitty.
Why not?
Because here are the 10 teams that I have seen, I've expected to be working closer. Now, maybe
a lot of red, by the way.
Maybe some of these teams are in the first 4 buys, maybe somewhere in the last 4 in and playing in Dayton, maybe on the first 4 out. But I think NC State, after their last couple weeks struggle, could be on that bubble. SMU, 2 ACC teams. Santa Clara, I think, deserves to be in, but the committee always hates the mid-majors.
They do.
San Diego State, kind of in that same territory. Oklahoma, Auburn, Stanford, Texas, the Power Fours. But then you've got that Miami of Ohio, the Redhawks from the MAC, the topic of the bubble. 31-1, undefeated, but loses in the quarterfinal, incapable of submission. Frank Martin and UMass get the win. Now the Redhawks, are they in the tournament?
They are sweating for sure. If I'm creating the bracket, if I'm a one-man selection committee, yes, Miami, Ohio is getting in. I mean, I know it's the MAC. By the way, two-bid MAC. But when's the last time anybody has ran off an undefeated conference record in any low major type of conference? Like, it is still incredibly impressive what they did. And for all the people and the detractors who say that Miami, Ohio didn't play anybody, do you think they didn't try to play anybody? A lot of these teams that you're seeing in the bubble here, the Oklahomas of the world, the Missouris of the world, the Texases, the SMUs, they would never schedule Miami, Ohio in the non-conference schedule. So they were shit out of luck. Like they could not determine who they ended up playing because these two teams won't shell out the money to buy a team like Miami, Ohio that actually has talent, that is well coached, and that could make a tournament run. So it's incredibly impressive what they've done this season. They deserve nothing more than to be buyed, by the way. They do not deserve to be in Dayton. They deserve to be in the field completely.
Yeah, I expect them to be Dayton. We'll talk about that here in a second. But I did want to play a game here, and I will just give you a heads up. None of these teams that we're about to talk about are Miami of Ohio, because unfortunately it would have been giving the game away because most people know Miami of Ohio's resume. No quad 1 wins, no quad 1 games, period. Undefeated in quad 2 and quad 3, but that loss to UMass on a neutral floor in their conference tournament is a quad 4 loss. They're 64th in the net. So I wanted to take a look at some other bubble teams, and let's play our bubble blind resume game. You have Team 1, who is 5-8 in Quad 1, 36th in the net, 34th in KenPom. Team 2, 3-8 in Quad 1, 47th in both the net and KenPom. You have the 38th team in both net and KenPom, but 4-13 in Quad 1 opportunities. And Team 4, 6-9 in Quad 1. 42nd in the net and 37th in KenPom, If you folks at home had one spot left in the tournament and you're looking at these blind resumes, who would you give it to? Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, or Team 4. We'll let you guys get your answers in the comments here in just 1 second. We're going to reveal what the teams actually were in just 1 second. But while you guys get in your votes for who had the best blind resume, in case you wanted to upgrade your swag, folks, we got some Chat Sports merch on sale right now. We got hoodies, we got t-shirts, we got hats. Chatsports.com/merch is where you can find it. If you have a more individualistic mindset, we have team merchandise as well. You can click on the collections, but if you want to represent the brand, it is greatly appreciated. I know Coop is going to throw in that link, chatsports.com/merch, in the live chat. It's also in the description of today's stream. Go grab yourself some gear. It's greatly appreciated. The support you guys show there brings us more opportunities here at the company to do fun events, do streams, giveaways. So go grab your merch right now. Hoodies, hats, t-shirts on Fuego.
They're good stuff. They're good stuff. High quality and very comfy as well. I've done a couple of try-ons of the merch that we have here in the office, so it's good stuff. Go get some. And let us know who the best team from that blind resume is down in the comments section.
I'll say this. Sorry to butt in.
Oh, yeah. No, you're
as
good.
we look here, I'm seeing a lot of 1s. I'm seeing a lot of 4s. It seems like, without a question, if you rank the votes in the live chat, number 1 is getting the most votes. Number 4 gets the second most votes. I saw 3.
I did see a 3.
So 3 gets the third vote.
Okay.
And then we'll put Team 2 in last place.
So what's interesting to me when you look at the blind resume, and given what I just said about Miami, Ohio, if you lose games, that's on you. Like, you are what your record says you are. Now, does that kind of get stretched sometimes? Is Miami, Ohio really as good of a 31-1 team as a power conference 31-1 team? Absolutely not. But when you factor in what maybe some of these power conference teams are, because spoiler alert, it is a power conference team that wouldn't even be discussed if that was a mid-major team with 13 quad 1 losses. They usually would never get that many anyway. Like, you are what your record says you are. You win the basketball games, and you won't have problems. I don't care what some metric or some spreadsheet says the games mean. Win them, and that team didn't.
All right, time to reveal the resumes. They're no longer blind, folks. NC State was team number 1, a team that should firmly be in the field of 68. But with their trend downward spiral over the last couple of weeks, they've inched closer to that bubble. I agree with most of you that they do have the best resume out of any of these 4 teams and should firmly be in the field. The number 2 team that got votes, number 4, were the Texas Longhorns, who, if I be honest, I didn't see them as a tournament team for the longest time.
Yeah.
Caught a little bit of fire late February, early March here, and they now look like they could be in the field. Auburn got the 3rd most votes, but I still think they should not be in. San Diego State, who has been one of the teams talked about, maybe first 4 out in that range, I don't even think deserves to be in. They haven't been good. Underwhelming season right from the jump, Smitty.
Yep.
47th in both net and KenPom. I don't think San Diego State deserves to be dancing. I do believe NC State deserves to get in. I think Texas deserves to get in. Auburn, I would keep them out. We'll see what the committee does. And Smitty and I came together here and did a last 4 in, first 4 out prediction. We have Miami of Ohio in the tournament, but we believe that the committee will slight the MAC 31-1 Redhawks, put them in Dayton, and have them with Texas, SMU, and then Santa Clara. We both believe Santa Clara should be in straight up, but the committee has a history of dragging down some mid-major schools, could see Santa Clara being in the last 4 in. We have Auburn as the first team out alongside San Diego State, Oklahoma, and Stanford.
Look, man, if you ask me, Auburn wouldn't even be close. Auburn wouldn't even be close. I don't get it. They lose all the time. Stephen Pearl, not a good coach. Yeah, they have talent on the roster. Tahab Hediford's good, but like, I just don't see it with that team. And look, we mean you and I are both mid-major guys. Like, we went with St. Bonaventure alums. So if we were the committee, it wouldn't be Santa Clara and Miami, Ohio playing in Dayton there. But we know that's what they usually tend to do. And look, a lot of people, I think, want Miami, Ohio in Dayton so they can kind of play their way officially into the tournament, especially after that loss.
Yeah, with no quad one games, no quad one opportunities, it's like, all right, you want to be in the field? All right, show us.
Prove it,
by
yeah.
going out and beating what would be a quad one, at worst quad two game, depending on who they played, at a neutral site in Dayton in the first four. We'll see how it unfolds in 8.5 minutes.
Ooh.
But folks, make sure you subscribe. Over 1,000 people in the building. I know all of you guys are not subscribed. We're on the track to 432K subs here at our Chat Sports main channel. We appreciate everybody who has already been subscribed. And by the way, we're in sub-only mode all stream long. So if you want to comment, you want to get your thoughts known down in the comments, you got to be subscribed. Hit that sub button. Let's get our climb up. And I've also been told, folks, if you want, it's greatly appreciated. A little super chat special could be fun here. $100 super chat, Smitty, would you take down a beer? I would.
I would take that a shotgun for sure.
For $100 super chat, we'll take one down. Last year, we got over $300 in super chats. We'll see if we could sniff that number once again. We've had a lot of success on the streams. Appreciate everybody's been tuning in, subscribing, liking, commenting. And if we want to get a little wet and wild here on a Sunday evening for a Selection Sunday, best day of the year,
sue me.
I'm willing to do it.
Over 1,100 people watching right now. Hit that subscribe button, and if you hit that subscribe button, you can let us know in the chat who will win the national championship. Comment down below, but the only way to do it is if you guys are subscribed.
I just want to shout out Mike Dibble in the chat. He says, hey, Rolly, how much should I donate if NC State makes the tournament?
Well, I'll say this, Dibble. You better start pulling out the checkbooks because it sounded like Will Wade could be heading back to the SEC and going to LSU again. No, that's her deep state rumor. I don't know anything. I just know deep state rumor. But, yeah, those Wolfpacks, they might need you, Dibble. But we appreciate everybody. Let me know who will win the Natty. My pick before the bracket, because the bracket does change things based off who you could play in the round of 32, the Elite Eight. I have been saying for the last 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
My preseason prediction, I'll be very open, Big Ten champion, Purdue Boilermakers.
Okay, they're as good as they've been all season.
That was my preseason prediction. I actually go as far to say, Smitty, we both made preseason predictions, Final Four and championships.
Yes.
My preseason Final Four: Purdue, UConn, Kansas, and Illinois.
Completely possible.
3 2 seeds. At worst, 2 seeds and a 3 seed, and then Kansas is likely going to be a 4. My national champion was the Purdue Boilermakers. I have now switched to the Arizona Wildcats, who I think is going to win the national championship. Smitty, your preseason Final Four, Michigan, Texas Tech, Duke, and Houston, with the Wolverines cutting down the nets.
Yep.
Have you changed your opinion?
I think out of pride, I will not be changing the prediction. They were a 20-1 preseason national title odds, and I'm just sticking with it. I think they're the best coached, maybe one or two best coached team in the country. John Shire has the Duke Blue Devils executing at as high of a level as anybody in the country, but so does Dusty May. He's made a Final Four run before. He's got elite talent on this roster. I'm sticking with the Wolverines.
Sticking with the Wolverines. All right, before we get into the bracket reveal, 5.5 minutes, did want to do something that we have a staple of over here in the Smitty and Rolly show, and that is frauds. We love the word frauds. We use it way too much in the sports landscape. We want to take a look at some teams that are guaranteed to be in the field that we do not believe in. My number one fraud team is Louisville. I like Michael Brown. Ryan Conwell can play well. But here's the thing. Their head coach, Pat Kelsey, has never won an NCAA tournament game.
Shrinker.
Got their doors blown off of them by Greg McDermott and Creighton last year in the 8-9 game. Their front court, or lack thereof, I think they get embarrassed. I think they lose in their first game as a 6 or 7 seed. I have A&M on the list, and they're not even a high seed, but they're horrible. They have no good wins. They're absolutely atrocious, defeating the Aggies week 1 of the tournament. I also have Tennessee, Nebraska, and Michigan State on my fraud list. Tennessee in that same range as Louisville. Nebraska and Michigan State been fading as of late in the Big Ten. No 3-point shooting for the Spartans. Nebraska, I think, got off to a hot start because they were very aligned. They were a collective unit. But as the year went on and other teams kind of got to them in terms of their camaraderie level, they faded. I am not in on Nebraska or Michigan State. 2 teams from the Big Ten that are going to be 2, 3, or 4 seed don't make it outside the first weekend of the tournament.
I agree with a good bit of these frauds here, as I also have the Louisville Cardinals. Like you said, Pat Kelsey shrinks in the biggest moments, and we've been talking about it the whole time. The teams that make runs, yes, there's always that idiom, that phrase, guards in March. Yeah, Louisville has them, but they got nothing else. That front court is absolutely atrocious. They don't defend. Like, it is. No, I'm not a fan of the Louisville Cardinals at all. I actually have the Purdue Boilermakers on my frauds list. Now, to be fair, this was made a little bit before they beat Michigan in the Big Ten championship game, but I'm not a big believer in Trey Kaufman-Renn. I just sometimes he disappears out there on the court. Fletcher Lawyer, Braden Smith, they go cold a lot. I love Oscar Clough down low, but Matt Painter, obviously a notorious March choker as well. Nebraska, I mean, this one's a little self-explanatory. I feel like their wheels have really kind of fallen off here. Yeah, they've been stacking wins, but they're just not very inspiring ones. And anytime they've played Purdue, they've gotten smacked. So, like, if you're more fraudulent than Purdue, you're absolutely on my fraud list. Villanova. Now, they have some decent wins in the non-con. They did beat Wisconsin. I believe they beat BYU as well. But, man, I'm just not a biggest fan of Kevin Willard. They did their best work in the Big East regular season, which was not the strongest conference in the country this year. They're going to be on the 8-9 line, so it's not necessarily a crazy take by me. But Kevin Willard, also just a guy who just I don't believe in 100% here. And then A&M, they're just not good.
What's the tagline on Willard? Something chiropractor?
Oh, yeah, more adjustments than a chiropractor.
More adjustments than a chiropractor.
That's right.
Shout out John Rothstein. An incredible quote.
I mean, he's got to be more gassed up, geeked up than we are right now. His favorite day of the year. Power 5 John, by the way. Can't wait for him to.
Oh, I don't think Power 5 Smitty can say that.
Oh, I am not Power 5 Smitty. I go to battle. This is straight powers. Straight powers, my frauds.
Smitty used to be a mid-major guy. We now call him SEC Smitty. All right, 2 minutes away from the bracket reveal. If you're ready for the bracket to be announced, hit that like button and spam those me's. We're giving shout outs here in the comment section, but show me and Smitty that you're fired up for the bracket reveal. We got Dibble, we got Bookless, we got Steven, Rogo, Timmy, DMB, we got GTA, Judd, Joseph,
Alicia,
Pacheco, Juan, Shelly, Matthew, Timmy, Mike,
Caleb.
A lot of people
Jonah,
in the building.
Trizzy, Alicia, Joseph. Let's go, man. We're a minute out from things getting underway. Now, obviously, they're going to do their little song and dance. They're going to make a whole event out of this thing. They're going to get it to it probably 5 minutes in. But I feel like they usually actually do get to the bracket reveal fairly quickly.
I actually give CBS and the Selection Sunday crew and show a lot of credit. You see it on ESPN with the college football. You see it everywhere.
Yep.
They tell you they're going to start a game at a certain time, 10, 15 minutes after the fact. That is not the case with CBS Sports.
No.
We get right into it. It's about 2 to 5 minutes. It can differ. I would say, he says, Coop goes 5:04. I would call that, and that's Eastern or Central Time. We're in Dallas, Texas, folks. But that is something that I give them a lot of credit for.
They get into it.
They get it moving. They keep it rolling. And it's appreciated over here because we just like to see what is going to be the bracket. 20 seconds left. Keep on spamming those me's as we got our first super chat of the stream. It is Carter Raymond rocking the Ivory Coast profile picture there. Best selection show year after year. No debate. Y'all rock. We appreciate you, Carter. This is year 3 of me and Smitty doing it, right? You did it? Or is it year 2?
I think it's only year 2 of you and I doing this.
Only year 2. It was me and Harrison Graham the first couple of years in 2023 and 2024 then. I thought you were with me in 2024.
In 2024, you know where I was?
Where was that?
I was in Brooklyn, New York for the St. Bonaventure Bonnies. Drink again, Tom.
No, it wasn't that. My goodness, you are a clown. You are a clown, I tell you what, folks.
Over 2,000 people watching. If you haven't yet, we only have 193 likes. That's actually insane. Hit the thumbs up icon, like today's stream if you're ready for the bracket to be revealed.
And it is the top of the hour. It is time to see the bracket 2026 NCAA Tournament on display here. We'll learn what the seed lines are, who's going where. Is Miami of Ohio in? Is Auburn out? Despite Bruce Pearl's propaganda, we'll see his reaction live on CBS Sports as well. It's going to be a blast. Nick Rohloff and Tyler Smith here at Chat Sports reacting to the bracket, all 68 teams. We know a lot of teams are going to be in, but we don't know all of them. Shout out your favorite college basketball team here as we get ready for the bracket to be revealed. We'll have it fully released here. Shout out Adam Zucker, Clark Kellogg, Seth Davis, and Bruce Pearl. They're on the... Let me know who you guys are rocking with this March.
I'll tell you what I'm not rocking with. Bruce Pearl. All right, I can't wait to drink Bruce Pearl tears in about 15, 20 minutes. This guy has just been basically trying to damage the sport. He hates the mid-major. He's shilling for his son, a team that loses every other day. I can't wait for Bruce Pearl to be crying on this selection show. And Seth Davis, too. Seth Davis, punk, doesn't know what like he just Power 5 Seth. Power 5 Seth. They like to call me Power 5 Smitty. No. Seth Davis wants to cannibalize college basketball.
Well, I think we're getting into it, folks.
Oh, my goodness.
Is this? Are they announcing it already? I told you they move quickly here.
We get right into it.
The Duke Blue Devils are going to be in the East region, the #1 overall seed. No surprise there. They will be playing on Thursday in Greenville, South Carolina. They'll be taking on Jerry McNamara in the 16th-seeded Siena Saints.
Champions of the MAC beat Merrimack in that title game, and GMAC is one of the more up-and-coming coaches in the country.
I would have liked to see Siena on the 15 line. Ohio State gets their name called. 8th seed, Bruce Thornton and company out of the Big Ten. They'll be playing on Thursday in Greenville, South Carolina. Who will they be playing? It will be the 9th-seeded TCU Horned Frogs. They have gotten hot over the last couple months. TCU and Ohio State, that's a fun matchup. How about the 5th-seeded Big East champion, St. John's? They will be in the East region, and I am stunned that they are this low on this seed line. I thought they could have crept up to the 3 line after winning the tournament.
Big East regular season and tournament champs. Insane, but Duke St. John's in the Sweet 16, that's cinema.
That would be cinema, 5th seed. They'll be playing in San Diego against the Northern Iowa. Oh, my. That is a bang job for the Johnnies. Northern Iowa has been playing good basketball. Missouri Valley champions, 71st in KenPom. That's going to be no easy out for St. John's.
I mean, that is a coaching masterclass right there, Rick Pitino and Ben Jacobson.
You want to talk about coaching? How about the 4th-seeded Kansas Jayhawks will be playing on Friday against 13-seed Cal Baptist in San Diego, California. This is going to be a bloodbath.
A Cal Baptist home game in the round of 64?
Oh, that top part of the East region is no joke. In the 6th line, playing in Buffalo, New York, the fraudulent Louisville Cardinals, and they'll be playing the American champions, Brian Hodgson, in South Florida, the 3 seed in the East region. Michigan State.
Wow.
They'll be playing in Buffalo. Michigan State projected to be on the 2 line. They lost to UCLA, down to the 3 line. North Dakota State will be the 14 seed there. I like North Dakota State, Smitty. 113th in KenPom out of the Summit League. I am not putting it past North Dakota State to pull off the upset on Izzo and Spartan.
It's happened before. They don't have a ton of shooting.
7th seed in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on Friday. It will be Mick Cronin and UCLA. They've been playing really well. They'll be taking on the 10th-seeded Central Florida Knights out of the Big 12. They have been playing some good ball lately, too.
That is the most late-night game I've ever seen in my life. That'll be at 9:30.
That will be the last game on Friday night. Well, it's in Philadelphia, so I don't know about
you never
that
know.
one.
That's right.
The 2 seed in the East region, it will be the UConn Huskies.
Whoa.
This, I will early call it, Smitty, might be the bracket of death.
This is the bracket of death. I mean, St. John's and UConn in the same region, and there's a 3 seed line difference.
This is one we're going to have to talk about for a while.
Oh, yeah, I'm pumped.
I mean,
South Florida by $1 billion, by the way.
By the way, you want to talk about coaching, as the Furman Paladins will be the 15 seed taking on the Huskies. How about the coaching in this region? Shire, Hurley, Cronin, Izzo,
Self.
Patino.
Unbelievable.
This is the region of coaching. We know Rothstein likes to give his regions
Yes.
of. I think I'm pre-calling the region of coaching.
That is the region of coaching. I mean, Jamie Dixon has been in the business a long time, too. A TCU team has got one of the more interesting resumes in all of college basketball.
I mean, as we look back at this bracket here, I am absolutely stunned that St. John's is on the 5 line. I mean, I get it. They didn't have the greatest non-con, and they worked their way through a relatively weak Big East, but they beat UConn twice in blowout fashion, including one just a couple nights ago, and they're on the 5 line.
I can't believe that. I'm curious if I would have swapped Michigan State and UConn here, but it's an interesting region. A lot of prestige in this region. National champion coaches left and right. That is a wildly low underseed for St. John's there. But St. John's, the committee we're seeing, though, they're valuing the non-con. St. John's didn't have any big wins outside of the Big East, and it was one of their weaker iterations this past season. So they didn't give them enough love.
And something to note here as we just worked our way through the first region, no last 4 in.
Yeah.
Which means we will not have any clear picture on what the bubble looks like, because we knew Central Florida was going to be in. We knew South Florida was in as an auto bid.
Yep.
And we move on here. What region will be announced next? We'll find out here. Likely going to be the West region. But shout out to Camden with the $10 super chat. If Kentucky makes it into the tourney and our exit in the first or second round, is Mark Pope gone? I think they'll give him another year at bare minimum. But this year was certainly a disappointment. No way around that. But they'll give him another year of runway.
I agree. They were the preseason SEC favorites, I believe, coming in, or at least one of the top 2. And they didn't come nearly as close there. They're going to probably be around like the 7 line, you think, right?
Yeah, I would probably guess they're on the 7 line. Before we go back and talk about a specific part of the bracket, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Over 7,000 people in the building watching. Hit that subscribe button. Me and Smitty separately will be live on Thursday and Friday for the first round of 64. I'll be live on Thursday for the afternoon games. Smitty will be doing the same on Friday. We will have you covered the rest of the bracket show. 3 more regions to be announced. Still got to take a look at the bubble. Be live on Thursday and Friday for the games. Hit that sub button if you're a college basketball fan wanting more content. I'm fired up to see the rest of the regions. And as you guys continue to hit that sub button, let's get the 4-3-1-500. Then I want to talk about a specific part. And I want to talk about that 4-5 part, Coop. So if we could get a close-up of that little spot in the 4-5, that would be fantastic, but keep on hitting that sub button. Get that climb up. There's the 500 number. Keep on subscribing. We appreciate all of you guys for getting locked in the channel.
Who's to say we can't get to 432 by the time the next bracket is revealed? You guys are absolutely killing it right now. This is the best time of the year to be a college basketball fan and sub to Chat Sports.
Yeah, subscribe today, but I wanted to talk about this part of the East region real quick before we move on.
Yeah.
St. John's, I think, completely underseeded.
Yep.
Not a lot of good wins in the non-con, but Big East regular season and conference tournament champions. First team to do that in back-to-back years. Shout out John Fanta.
Yeah.
They will be a 5 seed playing a tough Northern Iowa team, but they're also potentially having to play Bill Self in Kansas in the round of 32.
I'll tell you what, man. This is an interesting 4-5 kind of, I guess you say bracket right here. But Cal Baptist, if Darren Peterson isn't shooting the lights out, that Kansas team can struggle to score. Dominic Daniels, one of the better mid-major guards in the country. Don't sleep on Cal Baptist here. They could catch Kansas sleeping, and we've seen Bill Self with some early exits here.
Are you telling me you do not believe in Melvin Council hoops?
I do believe in dog food Melvin Council. Yes, he's a guy. He's a tournament player. He had a huge game way back when he played for Wagner against North Carolina. He put up like 28 points in that one. So he's a guy who rises to the brightest occasions. We'll see if it happens again with the Jayhawks.
Now, as we look at the bottom of this East region here, Smitty, I'm a little surprised that UConn ends up being the 2 seed in this bracket, because hypothetically that would tell us they are the worst 2 seed.
Yeah, if they're playing the Duke's #1 overall seed, then yeah.
And I'm surprised they had UConn that low. I thought they could have been a 1 seed if they won the Big East tournament with how Florida ultimately faltered down the stretch. But they ended up being on the 2 line. All right, here we go. Next bracket, about to be revealed. I assume it is going to be the West. It will be in the Arizona Wildcats, the team that I think are going to cut down the nets. The 1 seed in the West region, Big 12 regular season and conference tournament champions. They've been playing incredible all year long. They are the 1 seed playing in San Diego, California on Friday. They'll be taking on 16 seed. Let's see who this ends up being.
I would assume a first 4.
I would assume a first 4 as well. No, it's going to be the LIU Shark. Fins up! Ah, what a story that is. Coming out of the NEAC, the Northeastern Conference, 24-10, LIU Sharks. They'll be playing the Arizona Wildcats. The 8th seed in San Diego, Villanova.
Oof.
Smitty's not a fan there.
Fraudulent.
And they're going to be playing Utah State. So a Big East Villanova team and a Utah State Mountain West squad. Utah State's been really well as of late.
Oh, Jared Calhoun, one of the better mid-major coaches in the country.
I do not think Arizona has any issue getting to the second weekend in that little quarter.
I absolutely agree. Fazlov, though, one of the guards on Utah State, dog. Watch out for him.
The 5th seed, Wisconsin. They've been playing really, really well over the last couple months. Had a good little Big Ten conference run there. They'll be taking on 12th seeded High Point. High Point has been in the tournament the last couple of years here out of the Big South. They're 92nd in KenPom. Wisconsin's a streaky team. I am not putting it past High Point to get out of the round of 64.
That game is going to be 1st to 85.
On Thursday in Portland, Oregon, the 4th seed in the West region. Let's see who this is going to be. It's going to be Arkansas.
Oh, boy. This is the region of fun so far.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. For whoever, if Arkansas escapes, oh my goodness, they're playing the Hawaii. Oh my, they're playing Hawaii as the 13 seed.
Oh, we'll talk about Hawaii in a second.
You want to talk about points?
They are interesting.
Between those two games.
Yeah.
Are you serious? Moving to the bottom part of the West region, 6th seed, BYU, a team that I thought could have made a run this year. Unfortunately, Richie Saunders, the senior, tears his ACL. Let's see what AJ DeBansta and Robert Wright can do. They'll be playing in their neck of the woods there on Thursday in Portland, Oregon against Texas and NC State as a last 4 in.
Are you kidding?
NC State barely makes the tournament. They'll be heading to Dayton to take on Texas. We expected Texas to be in the last 4 in, Smitty.
Yes.
We did not expect NC State to be in. I'm worried for Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, now that things just got really shaky for both Miami, Ohio, and Santa Clara.
How about the Gonzaga Bulldogs being on the 3rd line here? I didn't think they would be on the 3 line. I thought they were going to be in the 4s.
You know, they've been missing Braden Huff for a little bit, but if he's back and ready to go, then they are that good.
They'll be taking on Kennesaw State in that game on Thursday as Miami, Florida is the 7th seed, an underseeded Miami, Florida team. I would have thought about putting them on the 6th line.
Ooh.
They'll be taking on Missouri, who a lot of people thought could have been playing in Dayton, Smitty. They make it clearly here on the 10 line, and they'll be playing Miami. I'll be riding with Jai Locus in that game.
Yeah, they have some talent, Miami does.
The 2 seed is Purdue after their Big Ten run in winning against Michigan this Sunday afternoon. They went from a projected 3 seed to on the 2 line. I tell you what, that side of the bracket fits well for them to make a run to the Elite 8.
Instant reaction, Arizona's walking blindfolded to Indianapolis.
I would agree. They'll be taking on, shout out Will Hamilton's Queens, coming out of the A-Sun, the 15 seed, 21-13. This is a weak bracket, I will have to say.
I agree. I think it's unfortunate that we are going to have to not have Arizona versus Arkansas in the Elite 8. Maybe a second weekend, though.
Man,
Sweet
my
16
goodness. You look at the top part of this bracket, though, Smitty. Arizona has no issue, in my opinion, getting past Long Island or the winner of Villanova or Utah State. They'll be walking to the Sweet 16. Now, I think they could be given issues with Arkansas or Wisconsin because those two teams can score the basketball at an incredibly high level. But I also think Arizona will be able to score with ease against Arkansas and Wisconsin. But as we look at that 4, 5, 12, 13 grouping, you just say points, 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 points. My goodness, that's going to be a lot of fun. Smitty, you had a very fun, interesting note on the Hawaii style of basketball.
Yes.
I'd love for you to shed some light.
Sure. I'm not so sure that this way they go about things is going to work great against a guy like Darius Acuff, but the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, the way that they play defense, it's just straight up. No help defense whatsoever. They guard ball screens 2-on-2. There's no shading help. If you get beat, they score. They force opponents to score unassisted. And, I mean, against Arkansas, who has got a bunch of players who can take you off the dribble, I don't know if that's going to be the best course of action in that one.
Yeah, if they stay with that philosophy, Smitty, I don't know how they guard Darius Acuff. I do not know how they guard Malik Thomas. That is going to be an issue.
DJ Wagner can put the ball in the deck.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, I'm going to pre-call it right now. High Point beats Wisconsin.
Ooh.
I'm calling right now. I like High Point. The Panthers, they can play. They've been in the tournament the last couple of years, gaining experience. Out of the Big South, I believe in High Point quite a bit. They've just been tremendous the last couple of seasons. I am also not sold on Wisconsin. Streaky team. You don't know what you're going to get with the Badgers every night. You can get a team that looks like they could be playing deep into the second weekend, but you can also catch them on a night where they look like a team that shouldn't even be in the tournament.
I absolutely agree. Look, John Blackwell, one of the better scorers at the guard position in the Big Ten. Nick Boyd, elite shooter as well. Both those guys can take you off the dribble. And if they're not hitting, though, that could be a recipe for an upset.
Yeah, so we just saw the West region here, Smitty. Real briefly, which team do you think wins the West? I have Arizona as my national title team, but I said coming into the day, I just need to see how the bracket falls. I think this could have been the best possible draw for them imaginable. I really do believe the way they're playing, despite a crazy injury in one of their games, they will be playing in Indianapolis without a question.
Yeah, I think this could be a 2023 type of, or was it 2024 type of UConn run where they're just rolling
Just
over
murdered
teams,
everybody.
double digits, covering every spread by a double, and they are going to be playing in the Final Four. I think we can all conclude that.
Yeah, I'm all in on Arizona in this bracket. JT with a $2 super chat. I'll pray for St. John's with that bracket. Man, they got screwed. I will talk about it when the full bracket is revealed and we have all 68 teams, but I am shocked at their seed line. I'm shocked at where they were placed. I mean, that's a tough draw for Rick Pitino and the Red Storm over there, but make sure you have hit that thumbs up icon. We have 2 more regions to reveal. We have 2 more teams to see where they'll be playing in Dayton. We know NC State and Texas are at-large bids in Dayton. We'll see if Miami of Ohio makes it. I don't feel good about Miami of Ohio being in the tournament after seeing how NC State is in Dayton. But hit that thumbs up icon. Last year's March Madness stream got 1.2K likes. Right now we're at 465. Let's cut into it. Let's get to 600 likes right now. And while we're hitting that thumbs up icon, get your Chat Sports merch. Right now we got hoodies, we got hats, we got T-shirts. We got everything you could possibly ask for. Chatsports.com/merch. The link's in the live chat. I'll throw it in there right now. They're high quality. They are built to last. It's a great time to grab some Chat Sports merch. We appreciate everybody who has supported the company, the channel, and continues to do so. But we got something else that we got to talk about here, Smitty. As Smitty just went and grabbed a quick beer. Why did Smitty go and grab a quick beer, you might ask? Well, I can tell you why he went out and grabbed a beer. Because the GOAT, the man, the myth, the legend, I'm going to continue to try to say adjectives until Coop has it ready to show. He gave me the thumbs up because Mike Dibble with a bang! $100 super chat. One of you please drink because I now have to. With us being in the bubble, I hope we can do well, but Texas has beat us very early in the year, so I'm concerned. Still great show. Appreciate your coverage. Dibble, you are the GOAT. Smitty's chugging a beer.
Shout out to Dibble. Let's go Wolfpack. Let's go Will Wade.
Shout out Dibble. Type those MDs in the chat for one of the GOATs here at Chat Sports. Shout out to Dibble, and I apologize for your NC State Wolfpack. They did not deserve to be in the last 4 in. Did they deserve to be a 10 seed? Yes, but they deserve to at least just be in the round of 64 without having to earn their way into the tournament. Well, they're in the tournament, but earn their way until Thursday and Friday. Yep. All right, we're about to get another region revealed. Appreciate the 7,000 people still hanging out with us. I assume this is going to be the Midwest region with the Michigan Wolverines being the 1 seed, and I would assume correctly they dominated this season. They fell up short in the Big Ten title game, losing today to the Purdue Boilermakers, but they are the 1 seed in the Midwest. That regional will be in Chicago, but they will be playing UMBC and Howard, the winner of that game, in Buffalo, New York on Thursday. UMBC?
Shock and awe.
Part 2?
I mean, look, it's a very interesting place there, but for UMBC. They're 185 in KenPom.
Yeah, like they're not the worst team in the world. I thought they were going to be on the 15 line, and they're playing in Dayton against Howard. They'll be playing there on Tuesday. How about a double reveal? Georgia out of the SEC at the 8 line, and our St. Louis Billikens. I don't know if R is the right word, but we're A10 truthers, St. Bonaventure alums. St. Louis makes it in clearly at the 9 line. I'll like Georgia on that.
I think I said a race to 85 in Wisconsin earlier. That's a race to 90.
The 5th seed in the Midwest region, playing in Tampa, Florida on Friday, it will be Texas Tech. The Red Raiders unfortunately suffered an injury to the best player on their team, J.T. Toppin. They'll be playing Akron, and oh boy, Smitty, I am a big fan of the Zips. They were just as good, if not better, than Miami of Ohio this year. I tell you what, record aside, I like Akron a lot.
Excellent coaching matchup, too. Grant McCaslin versus John Groce.
Christian Anderson, the star point guard for the Red Raiders, will be the difference in that one. 4th seed in Tampa will be Nate Oates in Alabama. Tell you what, not as good of a season as I expected from them, but they've got firepower.
They've gone a little bit under the radar this season. Not a lot of people are talking about Alabama, but Nate Oates, perennial second weekend guy.
The 13 seed, oh boy, look out. It's Hofstra. They are a solid program, Smitty.
Speedy Claxton manning things up there. Look, they can shoot it too.
I think this is an underseed. I thought they should have been on the 12 line. Coastal champs, 87th in KenPom. They should have been on the 12 line, not the 13 line. Look out, Bama. On Friday in Philadelphia, it will be the 6th-seeded Tennessee Volunteers who made it onto my fraud list.
Okay.
They will be playing Miami of Ohio and SMU. So Miami of Ohio makes it into the tournament. They'll be playing the ACC SMU Mustangs. I'm happy that Miami of Ohio made it.
Boopy Miller might have 40 in that game.
That's going to be an intriguing game between them and the Mustangs, but it is official that they get into the tournament. So
where is Santa Clara?
Oh, boys, that's a good point. Oh, my. A stunner.
Virginia
on the 3 line.
I think this is excellent. I love Virginia. I think they're really damn good. Ryan Odom, awesome. Like, they're great.
I'm just surprised that they're on the 3 line. They'll be playing the Horizon champions, Wright State. That's the 14-3 matchup. The Kentucky Wildcats will be playing on Friday in St. Louis against Santa Clara, so they get in. They don't do the mid-majors dirty.
Yep.
Miami of Ohio in, Santa Clara in. So little power 4.
We will see Santa Clara in the round of 32. I'll tell you that right now. Kentucky, fraudulent. Santa Clara, dark horse.
Look out for Graves over at Santa Clara. He can play.
Incredibly well coached, too.
The 2 seed in the Midwest region looks like it's going to be the Iowa State Cyclones. Ooh,
I mean, they were a shot away from being in the Big 12 title game, maybe giving Houston a run. Like, They're good, but they can't score. I'm not the biggest fan of Tim and Lipsy either.
I am not an Iowa State guy. I could see the winner of Kentucky or Santa Clara making it to the second weekend. Iowa State will be taking on Tennessee State. I thought Tennessee State out of Ohio Valley would be on the 16 line. They're on the 15 line. I know I'm a little splitting hairs here, and it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
It's all semantics, but that's why we do this.
I would have swapped Siena and Tennessee State.
Okay.
Siena was the 16 seed. They're playing Duke. I would have put them here as the 15 against Iowa State rather than it being Tennessee State.
I agree. Tennessee State was close to the – they were 187 in KenPom too. Siena They were 192, so I guess that was the difference there.
Yeah, but I do like Siena. They got Greg Doty. He can play.
Yep.
Jerry McNamara's cooking up at that program. This is a very fascinating region here, Smitty. I think Michigan gets a pretty good draw, but
Yes.
how about, and we'll focus on the bubble here, Miami of Ohio making it. They're going to Dayton, which is what I expected.
Yes.
I know you said they should be in straight up. I thought they would make them earn their way into the round of 64 because of the lack of quad one opportunities. And they do get in. They'll be playing SMU for the right to go play Tennessee.
Well, this is the thing about Miami, Ohio. Like, if they were dominant in a lot of these games, then just, end up having a cold shooting night or whatnot in the quarterfinal of the MAC tournament, then they would have been in with no questions asked. But a lot of these games, they've limped to the finish line. They've won by 1-2 possessions. They've gone to overtime in a lot of them against MAC opponents. Now, they have pulled out every win, which has been incredibly impressive. But clearly the committee wants them to prove it a little bit more.
I can tell you one thing, Smitty, and this is just brief, quick reaction for the 9,000 people watching. I have no clue what I'm going to do with the bottom of that Midwest region. Absolutely no clue. When I'm filling out my bracket, I'm looking at Tennessee. I'm looking at Virginia. I think Virginia's really good, but are they Elite Eight good? I don't know. I don't think Iowa State is.
Is this the region of frauds?
You know what? Smitty coined it. The region of frauds. Elliot Cadeau, fraud.
He is.
Iowa State, fraud.
Can't score.
Tennessee, fraud. Miami of Ohio,
Fraud.
potentially
They're
fraud.
Look, if you put me in an interrogation room and ask me if Miami, Ohio is actually good or not, I would tell you no.
Yeah.
But your record says. That's why Auburn ain't dancing.
All right, we have one more bracket to announce. It will be the South region. We have over 8,700 people watching. Subscribe right now. We're trying to get to 432K subscribers. I know there's 280 people watching that aren't subscribed. I already said it earlier. Me and Smitty separately will be live on Thursday and Friday for the round of 64 games. Subscribe for that. Subscribe for more content. We appreciate everybody who has joined the channel and has been watching our stream today. Hit that sub button. We'll check on where we get here in just 1 second, but we have to rotate through some super chats. Lucas Jones, I can't tell, says, big Louisville fan. There's a couple Louisville fans in the building. Not good because me and Smitty both out on the Louisville Cardinals. We apologize. What seed for North Carolina? They have not been announced yet. I would like to believe they are going to be a 6 seed in this South region, but we'll find out officially here in just a couple minutes. Shout out Tam O'Malley, and shout out to Will Hamilton with the $5 super chat. Purdue is finished. I don't know. I think they're going to be able to make a run.
They're playing their best ball.
That bottom of that Western bracket.
They are in the Arizona death trap, so I don't think they're going to make it to Indianapolis, but they are playing their best ball right now, and the bottom of that region isn't super strong.
Yeah. Lucas, is it Jones or Janes? Can you tell, Coop? It's Janes.
Janes.
All right. The O and A gets confused on my monitor here. Saying, let's go Louisville Cardinals. Listen, the Cardinals.
It's not even that we're. I'll say this. It's not even that we're completely out on the Cardinals. What a horrific matchup.
Yeah.
What a horrific draw.
Yeah. We like South Florida a ton over here. We're big Brian Hodgson guys.
Yep.
But man, I just don't like what I've seen. Michael Brown obviously didn't play in the AC tournament. He'll likely be back for the NCAA tournament, and maybe that will be the difference. But shout out to SCY, another Cards fan. What do you think our chances are? South Florida seems to be a team that can pull off an upset, but don't know too much about them. Well, they are. Me and Smitty are both going to be picking South Florida in this game.
100%.
We both know we are. We're big on the Bulls. We're big on Brian Hodgson. We're not sold on Louisville. Smitty, you can go here.
Isaiah Nelson. There is nobody on the Louisville Cardinals that can contain him. He is bigger than you. He's stronger than you. He is the AAC Player of the Year. I believe he's the AAC Defensive Player of the Year. He was AAC all first team, obviously, too. Like, he is a problem, but they also have other talent. They got Joseph Pinion out there. They got Josh Mojafo. Like, these are guys who have been with Brian Hodgson for a while now as well. He went from Arkansas State to South Florida, up a weight class, and they answered the call. Like, they can shoot it. They defend like hounds. Like, I really, really like what South Florida's got here matched up with Louisville. I apologize to the Cards fans.
150 subscribers away from 432K. Let's get there right now, folks. But we do have the final region to announce, and that's the South region. It's likely going to be the Gators of Florida as the 1 seed, looking to go back-to-back. It is, even with an exit in the semifinal of the SEC tournament. the hot play in January and February earns them the 1 seed. They'll be playing on Friday in Tampa, Florida. Who will they be playing? I believe it's a Dayton game.
It will be Dayton game.
It will be the winner of
Lehigh Prairie View A&M.
And look at Smitty No Ball. Lehigh out of the Patriot League in Prairie View A&M out of the SWAC, 284 and 289 in KenPom. The 8th seed in this bracket will be the Clemson Tigers out of the ACC, and I would assume that means the Iowa Hawkeyes will be the 9th seed. That is the case.
Sharp.
Yeah, I will be picking Iowa, even though I said all year long I'd be picking against Iowa.
I tell you right now, Brad Brownell is always good for a win.
Yeah, he is. The Vanderbilt Commodores, just coming up short in the SEC title game earlier today, are the 5th seed, potentially having a SEC semifinal rematch in the Sweet 16. But they'll have to get by Carter Raymond's McNeese State out of the Southland Conference. Amara Khan, he's back.
Ora Khan is back. I don't want to see him on the TV.
Nebraska at the 4 line. They were likely, and many people predicted them to be a 3 seed. They are actually at the 4 line.
Is this going to be Idaho?
I would probably assume this is
Troy?
This could be Troy.
Bang.
Yeah. It's going to be Troy, which means Idaho is probably the 14 seed in this bracket.
Nebraska's going down.
Troy out of the Sun Belt. They can play ball.
They do.
They can play ball. And
there it is.
There it is. North Carolina, the Tar Heels without Caleb Wilson are the 6th seed. Who is going to be the 11th seed? But you don't like North Carolina's chances with no Caleb Wilson. They've been limping towards the finish line of this kind of season.
The Henry Vasar's job there.
They'll be playing the A-10 automatic qualifiers, VCU Rams.
Interesting. The guard play for VCU is awesome. And I don't really think that the North Carolina guards are that great. So I like that matchup there. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know where I'll go in that one. If VCU can contain Henry Vasar, I think they win that game.
They don't have a ton of size down there, but Vasar is going to have to do a lot to will them to victory.
Wow, Illinois down to the 3 line. Many people predicted them to be a 2 seed. That's not the case because the 2 seed is going to be Houston. Illinois will be playing Penn in TJ Power, who went for 43 and 14 today to take down Yale in the Ivy League championship game. Illinois is really good. Just going to put that out there.
Fran McCaffrey is now taking 5 separate schools to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, St. Mary's will be the 7th seed on Thursday.
I don't know if I buy St. Mary's this year.
They'll be playing Texas A&M. Well, guess what? You don't buy them, but we both automatically said whoever Texas A&M plays, we're fading them. So we're going to both be gals.
Randy Bennett, I'm with you.
Well, you got the job done last year in the first round against Vanderbilt. Come from the behind victory.
Yeah, it was a great game. 2 contrasting styles there.
And then the 2 seed will be Houston, and I believe that leaves – who was it that we missed here?
We missed –
Idaho?
Yeah, are they going to be the 15?
Yeah.
Wow.
Idaho, as the 145th ranked team in KenPom, underseeded.
Yeah.
Kennesaw State was on the 14 line, Smitty. They're at 163 in KenPom. Idaho at 145. I mean, it's all semantics like we talked about, but Idaho got banged here.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting fed to the wolves in Kelvin Sampson down there. They're not a team that usually gets too hung up with major upsets in the first round.
So there we have it. That is the bracket. And my mind just immediately goes back to the East region.
It's the only one I care about.
And the gauntlet that is that.
That's unbelievable.
I think everything else was pretty vanilla and status quo outside of the East region. That is just craziness. But as we look closer at the South region here, I'll tell you what, I would love an Illinois-Houston Sweet 16 game. I mean, that would just be fantastic. I'm probably going to pick chalk in that to get that.
2 teams who just play completely opposite.
Yeah, and I think I might just pick Illinois and Houston to match up in the Sweet 16 just because I want it to happen.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, past couple seasons, we're seeing chalk. We're seeing chalk in the second weekend, so I wouldn't go too crazy on some 15s and 14s this year unless, you're very convicted.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, that top bracket, I think fits pretty well for Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, they did just lose to Vanderbilt.
They wouldn't.
So,
they
like,
won't get. They
a
won't this time.
Vanderbilt-Florida rematch, Are you picking Vandy to beat them 2 times in a row in the span of 2 weeks? I don't know.
Todd Golden is excellent at adjusting and playing a team in the
Now,
next time after losing.
I just picked up on this. How much stock do you think the committee put into Florida and Houston potentially having a national championship rematch in the Elite Eight?
Yeah.
I think they put a lot of stock into that.
That's awesome.
Now, with that being said, though, Houston probably was the number 1 2 seed,
yes.
and Florida was the last 1 seed, so it made a lot of sense. But here it is, by the way. The last 4 in was NC State, Texas, SMU, and they had Miami of Ohio as the last team in the tournament.
Wow.
Oklahoma was the first team out. Auburn was the second team out, with San Diego State and Indiana being third and fourth team out. I don't think any surprises there, outside of Miami, Ohio being the last team in the field.
It is kind of funny how much stock they put into the net, and Auburn was the 38th ranked team in the net. They didn't necessarily get the closest there. Oklahoma, the first team out after a pretty strong SEC tournament run.
Now, Smitty, do they do this frequently? But can you describe to me if SMU and Miami of Ohio were the 2 teams last in the field?
Yes.
Why are they playing? Shouldn't it be the
Miami
number
Ohio versus
like
the 1?
Yeah, it would be the best last 4 in team versus the worst last 4 team.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that make sense to me?
It should be NC State versus
Miami,
Ohio.
Ohio. And then SMU and Texas.
Yes.
But instead it's the last 2 teams in the field playing against each other. I don't know how that makes sense.
Yeah, that should not be the way that it goes, but it is, according to the committee and the people who put teams in Dayton.
Yeah, guess so. So let's go through the final region one more time, which was the South region. Florida was the 1 seed. Clemson, Iowa in the 8-9 game. Ben McCollum, Bennett Sturts against the Tigers. Vanderbilt and McNeese, Nebraska and Troy. I'll tell you what, I could see either Troy or McNeese winning that game.
I think there will be a guaranteed upset in that quadrant right there. McNeese, Troy, 2 very talented teams. And look, I know Vanderbilt's been playing well here over the last couple days, but I don't know if I'm the biggest believer in them. And then Nebraska, I'm definitely not.
Yeah, and you move to the bottom part of the South region. North Carolina, VCU, Illinois, Penn, St. Mary's, Texas A&M, and then Houston, Idaho. Illinois has been projected as a 2 seed in like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they get moved down to the 3 line after losing to Wisconsin in the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament on Friday. I do think that they can get to the second weekend and get out of that quadrant pretty easily, Smitty, but I do not know if they are good enough to take down Houston in a Sweet 16 matchup.
They do have more scoring, but I will say, I feel like Penn kind of got boned here. I know they're the champions of the Ivy. They weren't even the top seed going in.
18-11.
Yeah, it's not great, but like Illinois shouldn't be on the 3 line in my point of view. They have a lot of talent. Brad Underwood's one of the more underrated, still somehow one of the more underrated coaches in the country. They're gonna win that game, I think, with ease. They just have too much firepower for Illinois, for Penn there. Obviously, TJ Power had a huge day, but outside of that, can they get easy Ethan or Evan Roberts back? He has a concussion going on right now. Their leading scorer. He kind of does everything for them there. So if they can get him back, maybe that's a game, but I'm not so sure that they'll be able to keep up with the Illini.
Shout out to Chris Denton with the $10 super chat. I can't wait to watch BYU get destroyed.
Why you a hater?
Yeah, I don't know why you hate BYU. You can let us know. But who is BYU even playing in? Is that the winner of?
Yeah, it has to be the winner of Texas and NC State.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah,
that sounds right to me.
That's in the
Man,
Midwest region.
I don't even know who I'm going to pick between NC State and Texas, because Texas has been playing good. They've got a first-round pick in Dylan Swain, but NC State, Will Wade,
Darian
Williams, Quadir Copeland.
Yep.
They've Holloway.
Yep.
They've got guys, but they've kind of faltered as of late. I'll be fascinated to see who wins that game.
It's been very up and down for NC State this year.
Yeah. I also can't wait to look back when we go through the bracket one more time. We'll do a quick bracket go through, and then we're going to film a full video reacting to the bracket. So stay tuned and stay subscribed from that. But let us know in the comment section, after seeing the bracket, who will win March Madness? Smitty? I still think it's going to be the Wildcats.
Arizona got a hell of a draw in that region. I mean, it was kind of the region. Was that the one that ended up being the region of frauds, or was that the Michigan region was the region of frauds?
Region of frauds, yeah.
Yeah, like that. I think that the Arizona's West region might just be the region of the Wildcats. Like, yes, Arkansas is there, Wisconsin is there, but they're gonna have to put together like a bunch of days in a row of elite shooting. Arkansas, do they have enough past Darius Acuff? Can he carry them all the way? I really do believe they're going to walk blindfolded to Indianapolis, but I'm still rocking and rolling with the Michigan Wolverines because there's a bunch of fraud. Like, even though they have players on the team who are frauds, I don't think as a unit they are, and a lot of teams in that region fit that bill.
Mike Nintendo Master going with Illinois, Arkansas from Imagine, Arizona for Cream City. I see Michigan. I see Kansas. We'll see. We'll see. We're 110 subscribers away from 432K.
I know we can get there.
We guarantee there's 110 people watching not subscribed. Smitty, you did a beer bong earlier for for Mike Dibble's $100 super chat. If we get to 432K subscribers, I will do a beer bong myself. So I'll do it if we get there. We're 107 subscribers away. Hit that sub button. As I mentioned, we are going to be live for Thursday and Friday for the first round, I guess round of 64 technically, of the tournament. Me and Smitty will be cooking, having fun on Thursday. That will be me. Smitty will be Friday. We'll be live for the Final Four and National Championship games as well. So if you are a college basketball fan, subscribe to the channel. We have daily content, NFL, NBA, college football as well. And guess what? I'll chug a beer if we get there. So that's also
82 away, 81 away.
Also be pretty fun as well. We appreciate everybody who has subscribed already and continues to subscribe. We're going to react to the bracket here in a second, Smitty. I'm trying to think. Is there any real surprise? I'm looking at our last four in prediction. We went 3 of 4.
Yep, we did go 3
of 4. We had
4.
SMU, Texas, Miami of Ohio. We had Santa Clara in the last 4 in instead of NC State. If you just swap NC State and Santa Clara, we were right.
Yeah, we did it because, absolutely.
And then our first 4 out was Auburn, San Diego State, Oklahoma, which they were all there.
All happened.
And then the fourth,
Indiana was the other one.
Yeah, Indiana instead of Stanford for the first 4 out.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. I'm sure Stanford was right there in the next 4 out.
We went 3 of 4 in both the last 4 in and first 4 out, but we did predict that our last 4 in teams were all in the tournament, and our first 4 out teams were all not in the tournament.
Yeah.
So I'll take that.
We'll take that. It was a very good. It was like an 80% hit rate right there. Boom.
That will take it.
50 subs away from 432K. We'll dive more into the bracket once we get there. I know for a fact that 50 of you guys are not yet sub. 49. Come on. Each and every one of you guys has been awesome supporting today's stream, and hopefully you come back and support us this weekend when we're doing the round of 64 on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah. Grab a beer, you say? 47 subscribers away. You know what? I'll grab a preemptive beer.
All right.
Smitty, if you want to just talk about the first 4 or whatever until I get back here, let me know. Coop, by the way, it should be Miami, parentheses, Ohio. OH.
Yes. And Friday in Dayton. Oh, boy.
38 subscribers away if you want to push Smitty so I can go up there and have that beer.
Let's do it. The first 4. UMBC kind of getting boned a little bit. We talked about it before. They are 185 in KenPom when you consider a team like Siena, who's 192, or Furman, who's 191. They don't have, or I guess they have the luxury of not being in Dayton this week. Tuesday, Wednesday, the appetizer, and then Thursday, we're getting the whole damn thing. SMU versus Miami, Ohio. I really wish that Miami, Ohio didn't have to play in Dayton, but you couple in the number of close wins that they've had, losing in the quarterfinal of the MAC tournament. Like, they didn't lose in the final. I think if they lose to Akron in the final or something like that, they're not looking at a Tuesday or Wednesday in Dayton, but they are. They have to go up against Andy Kennedy in SMU, and he's a guy, or it's Andy Kennedy in SMU, or Andy Enfield? It's Andy Enfield in SMU. Yes, Andy Enfield. Andy Kennedy is still UAB. But that's a team that has one of the most dynamic scoring guards in the country. Boopy Miller he could fill it up, and I just don't know if Miami, Ohio has the depth and the firepower to make that happen. They've limped to a lot of these wins, and SMU, I think there's a chance, beats them handily. Wish Miami, Ohio wasn't in Dayton, but that's not the reality. Also, Texas and NC State are going to be matching up in that 11 seed game in the first 4 in Dayton. I'm interested. I think that game is going to be like really. There's some players. There's first round NBA talent on both sides there, but I think that game is going to be muck it up, like first to 60 kind of thing. Sean Miller and Will Wade, like they're two very methodical coaches in the way they approach things. They're going to slow it up, and I like the way that game looks in terms of what a real college basketball fan wants to see.
Yeah, we're 10 subscribers away from that 432K number.
10 away, come on. Who's going to get us there?
I'm chugging a beer. I'm not as cool as Smitty. I can't shotgun very well, so I put my little happy dad in a Murbanga that will be taken down here. If we could get 11 more subscribers, and then once we get to that subscriber number, if Coop is ready, we'll cycle through some super chats, and then we'll also look at the bracket and do a full reaction video. Oh,
we're going to get there.
Let's go. Those
Easy
games
money.
are on that St. John's, Kansas bracket's on Friday. That fires me up. That fires me up personally.
We got it.
Hey!
Oh, boom!
432K subscribers. We appreciate everybody who has joined the channel today. And like I said, join us for this upcoming week of college basketball content. It's going to be fun, man.
I'm pumped up, man. Like it's just, schedule out your lunches, have an extended lunch on Thursday, Friday. You know what? Call in sick if you want to. Get the surgery if you want to, and have yourself on the sidelines for this weekend, because there's no better time to be in front of a couch, in front of multiple screens than this Thursday, this Friday, this Saturday.
By the way, Smitty, before we get to this bracket, I can't wait for Sparoditas to be on the call of St. John's, Northern Iowa, and Kansas Cal Baptist.
It is Friday, huh?
And one of those teams are going down.
One's going down.
Oh, and by the way, I haven't looked at the entire day, but based off my off days this week, I'm off Friday, Smitty's off Thursday, because we're alternating Thursday and Friday March Madness. I don't know what the rest of Friday looks like. I won with St. John's and Kansas. That's all I care about. That's Friday and Sunday. I'll take that.
I hope that, unfortunately for the Chat Sports audience, that one of those games is a late night and I can go partake in it myself, because look, man, when we're doing these streams around 64, it's a lot. You're running back and forth. You can never really lock in to one game as much. It's kind of a red zone type of approach.
Yeah.
But it's an absolute blast, and I'm pumped to do those games on Friday.
Yeah, well, we crossed 432K subscribers. You are legends. Like I said, I'm not as good as Smitty. Smitty knows how to take it down better than I am.
Hey, yeah.
Is it Power 4 Smitty?
Power 4 Smitty, that's what they call it.
There's more evidence. Power 4 Smitty, he's used to doing a lot of shotguns. And the SEC tailgates.
Yep.
Shout out to all the real ones that subscribe. We're going to talk more bracket coming up.
Love it, love it, love it. Shout out to all you guys who hit that sub button. Continue to subscribe. Hit the like button. We're also 66 likes away from 1,000. Oh, my God. Disastrous.
A little spillage.
Disaster struck.
A little spillage at the end there. That's disaster as well. Disaster. For whatever reason, there was like a little bubble that got caught in that the mouthpiece, and then as I tried to finish, that's tough look on the camera. Can't lie.
You're still good though. No stains. I'm not seeing any
stains. Yeah, just all on the floor. Sorry. All right, we still got 3,500 people watching. Coop's giving us the 1 second. Once we're finalized, we're gonna go through our super chats. We're gonna then go through the bracket, full video style. Give our reactions and each region, early predictions, and then we'll stay live and hang out as much as you guys want to. I'll tell you what, Smitty, I think they went through that way quicker than usual.
I thought it was incredibly quick.
Bracket was fully announced by 6:35 Eastern time.
Wow. And they probably didn't start until, around 5:04 or 6:04?
It was 5:02.
5:02?
6:02. Dude, they got right into it today. They wasted no time. And we say they waste no time. I would say, though, usually, the way they segment it, the final region is revealed at 6:45 Eastern time, and then their show goes till 7, so they get 15 minutes of talking about the bracket.
Yep.
They finished at 6:37 Eastern time, we speak in Central time, and I was like, wow, they went through that quickly.
It was efficient. We got our bracket now, and we're going to break it down here in just a moment. Also, going to be breaking it down over the next couple of days, man. I can't wait to talk more bracket with the boys. Me and
Smitty are yapping about it now. We already have a segmented call planned in about 2.5 hours.
You haven't even seen the half of it yet.
Which will last probably another 2.5 hours.
Yep.
This is our favorite time of the year, that is for sure. Nathan Richardson with $1 super chat. We appreciate you.
What up, Nate?
Taylor, can anyone else go in Bama? I'm a Bama guy. I'm a LeBaron Philon guy. He is legitimately my favorite player in college basketball.
Aiden Holloway, beast.
Can play. It's just all about matchup and defense because Alabama plays no defense. They also have a very lackadaisical front court.
Yes.
And I like what Aiden Sherrill has done, but outside of him, they really don't have anyone. They didn't get anything out about that big-time transfer, Nathan Williamson, coming from, I believe it was Bucknell. Spacing, that might be wrong, but he was really, really good.
They tried to make a midseason edition of Charles Bediako, and that just blew up.
And that didn't go well. So,
clearly he didn't believe in his front court.
Alabama, they're very similar to Wisconsin. At their best, they are going to compete with anyone.
They can run you out of the gym, too.
At their worst, they can lose to a mid-major by 20.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tom Sipe in the building with
Tommy.
a $10 super chat. Shout out Coop. Coop getting a shout out. Impressive getting those teams and logos up there quickly. Glad I chose this as my stream for the bracket. Power 4 Smitty and Chalk Roley. Please tell me St. John's can make a run. Power 4 Smitty and Chalk Roley has a lot of good ring.
I like that. It does have a good ring.
But tell me St. John's can make a run. I'm not going to tell you that. Because they lose to Darren Peterson in Kansas in the second round of 32.
But I thought we already guaranteed that we're seeing a 12 or 13 win in the Northern Iowa or the Cal
That's
Baptist.
right. Northern Iowa beats St. John's.
Northern Iowa beats St. John's
Actually,
in the round of 64.
I got to do a little bit more research on Northern Iowa. If they have a big guy that can bang down low with Zuby Ejiofor, I think they can beat him.
Yep, I agree, and I think that just by all accounts, on average, the Northern Iowa squads they are predicated on shooting. They're predicated on offense from the perimeter, and St. John's really isn't for the most part.
Yeah, what a time to be alive here. I think we got a couple other super chats too, right?
We do got a couple of.
Just want to make sure we get all of those before we go in depth on the bracket for a nice healthy video here. We got Tracked Outdoors. If Kentucky plays well, we like our chance of Elite 8. Tough draw. We'll see if they can make a run. We got Dylan Hack, Wright State. He's calling an update. Horizon or upset. Wright State or the Horizon going over Virginia.
It's not the craziest thing in the world. We've seen teams out of the Horizon make big-time wins happen. Oakland a couple of years ago out of the Horizon League there. Wright State's perennially one of the top teams in that conference too, and they really haven't gotten that big tournament win in quite some time.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk more about this bracket because I tell you what, there's a lot of head-scratching decisions I'm going to have to make. The only decision that I know I'm already making is that Arizona's in the Final Four.
South Florida over Louisville in the first round.
And South Florida over Louisville in the first round. Apologize to all the Cardinal fans out there. There's a lot of them.
Yep, there's a handful.
I didn't realize that the Chat Sports demographic featured a lot of Louisville.
Big red circle in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, unbelievable, folks. We're going to get some bracket talk more here in just 1 second. Coop's getting some graphics ready behind the scene. We appreciate all the hard work that he does for us here.
One more.
One more super chat after this, and then we'll get into it. Florida played Houston last year in San Antonio. Yeah, interesting potential Elite 8 game national championship matchup from a year ago.
Dylan Evans, D. Evans, 444 says,
that?
Shout out to the Richard Brand Statesman. How are they doing? Are they in the D2? I'm sure they're in the D2. They're not in the D2 tournament just yet. No, they're 12 and 13 this season. Shout out to them, though. I heard they had a great coaching staff over there.
Love it, love it, love it. Appreciate you, Dylan. Coop.
Yep.
So I think what we should do, full bracket, first four out, and then just go bracket by bracket. We don't have to show the entire thing. Just go region by region.
Yeah. Like off the rip, we don't have to go through the entire bracket. We'll just go region by region.
Just go East region, blah, blah, blah. And then each time we go to a region, we will then go into a segmented part of it and kind of talk about it.
Ooh, by the way, before we do get into this, shout out to my guy Tom Sipe for sending me along this info. Texas NC State is the first 4 game that Dick Vitale and Charles Barkley will call.
Which means you're getting onions.
With Brian Anderson.
You're getting onions.
That is an excellent booth there.
Do I think Michigan State can upset UConn? I actually do not. I'm low on the Sparty team. I usually am a Izzo guy. I'm a Michigan State shill. I really am. But I do not like this team whatsoever. I just think they have absolutely no shooting.
Yep.
And they just have to really control the pace from start to finish. And unfortunately, if they get into that type of battle with UConn, it's crazy to say this, UConn's better coached.
Yep.
Hurley's that guy. They've got better talent.
I think so too.
And that front court of Carabin, of Terrace Reed, they'll dominate Cooper inside.
I think so.
And you could argue Silas Demery is better than Jeremy Fears. Or Jeremy Fears, excuse me.
Yeah.
He was the other one.
Yep. I look, I like Kohler. I like Cameron Carr. But, again, like you said, not enough shooting there. It's just big 2026. You got to be putting them up with volume, and you got to be hitting them at volume. So, if UConn and Michigan State were to run into each other, like, I just feel like UConn has a better offensive firepower, and the defense isn't too far off.
Seth, Final Four, Duke, Arizona, Michigan, Houston.
He's such a loser. Such a shill. Power 5 Seth.
Sadly, oh my goodness. I don't think I could say anything because first glance, I think that would be my exact bracket. Final Four, national championship game. And how about Bruce Pearl?
Bruce Pearl has
St.
John's.
John's in the Final Four.
Tommy, you're cooked.
Florida, Arizona championship game. If he chooses Arizona, I have to fade Arizona.
No,
I have to fade.
Does Bruce Pearl have St. John's in the Final Four because Auburn beat St. John's in the non-con?
Maybe.
Probably.
I think I have to fade
Last
Arizona.
second shilling for his son.
Bruce Pearl and Seth Davis both having Arizona winning it all. I am cooked.
Michigan Wolverines. Go blue. Go James Yoder.
Yeah, we'll do bubble first. Bubble, East Region, do a who will win March Madness. Actually, you know what? We can do early comment driver who got snubbed after the bubble talk.
Mm-hmm.
And we could talk about the bubble real quick. Who got snubbed? And then
First region.
East Region,
Go
probably
like driver?
No, East Region, go West Region. We'll do top 2. We'll do sub.
Yep.
Then we'll do Midwest, merch,
East.
or South.
South.
Who wins March Madness? Final thoughts. Me and Smitty give our early predictions. Call it a day.
Yep.
And then I'll just act as the quote unquote host, and we'll just have a conversation.
Yeah.
There. Cool. All right, it'll be baseball, folks.
Inside baseball right there.
Inside baseball. That's baseball. All right, we're gonna get into a bracket reaction here in a second.
I just remembered what you referenced.
All right, let's get into it here on today's show. We officially have a bracket. All 68 teams have been revealed. We saw who got in. We saw who did not get in. We have the seeds, the locations. Don't have the times as of filming this, but we're going to get into it on today's show. I am Nick Rohloff. Tyler Smith will be joining us here on today's show. And before we get into the last 4 in, first 4 out, who got snubbed? Spoiler alert, Miami, Ohio is in, Auburn is not. But let me know who got snubbed down in the comment section. And Smitty, the last 4 in. Shocked, but NC State is playing in Dayton. We thought they both were going to be on the 10 line and clear. Texas is in. Yeah, we're going to have to restart.
Yeah, we have to restart.
Miami,
Ohio.
Sloppy Cope. Sloppy
Tom gives him a compliment, and shit goes
Sloppy
off the
Cope.
rails.
Everyone spam F Cope.
Boo.
Everyone spam F Cope. Everyone spam F Cope. Everyone spam F Cope.
That's funny stuff. That's good stuff. You want to see inside baseball? That's inside baseball right there.
Tom Syke wants his money back. I don't disagree.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
I don't disagree. That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff.
Demetrius Johnson saying, what region do you think is the hardest? We're going to talk about it, and I think you're right, my friend. It is the East.
It is absolutely the East region. I can't believe that Duke can't. How about the region of Blue Bloods? Duke, Kansas, Michigan State, UConn. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's big time. I mean, it's a region of Blue Bloods, a region of coaching. Like, it's awesome.
Why did they do all of that? I feel like that's just so unnecessary.
Maybe it's just the way. I mean, they do just seed it 1 through 68. So there is a math to it. I guess it's just the way the cookie crumbled. Like
Yeah.
it looks unfortunate now, but it's not like they hand selected that region specifically.
I'm looking at some of these Friday games. Oh, I get Santa Clara, Kentucky too. Tennessee versus SMU or Miami of Ohio. Oh, Alabama, Texas Tech, Akron, Hofstra, Purdue, Queens, Miami, Missouri,
Yeah, I don't know who's. I haven't looked through which days, or I've seen a couple of them, but I don't.
Arizona,
not 100%
Villanova,
sure.
Utah State. Yeah, Friday's definitely better. All right, cool. We got it ready? All right. By the way, should we do the last 4 in, first 4 out before the snubbed? Okay,
Perfect.
that's what I thought anyway, but I was riding with you, and then apparently shouldn't have done it anyway. All right, we love Coop. We're just having fun. All right, part 2 coming at you. The 2026 NCAA Tournament bracket has been revealed. We saw who was in, who is out, all 68 teams. We got dates, we got matchups, and we're going to start right at the bubble. Who is playing in Dayton as the last 4 teams? We have NC State taking on Texas, and then SMU taking on Miami of Ohio. The Redhawks from the MAC, 31-1, do get in. Smitty, your thoughts?
If I were the selection committee one man, I would have not had Miami, Ohio in Dayton, but clearly they took into account all the close wins. Yes, 31-1, but a lot of them were limping to the finish line overtime, had to come back, and then they ended up losing in the quarterfinals of the MAC tournament. They're going to make Miami, Ohio prove it in the first 4.
And the first 4 out will be Oklahoma, Auburn, San Diego State, and Indiana. We expected Oklahoma, Auburn, and San Diego State to be right on that bubble. They barely miss. Indiana made a push late but couldn't get the job done. So those are the 4 programs that just missed this year's tournament. And I ultimately think, Smitty, the committee got the bubble correct. But you can let us know who got snubbed, if anybody. Do you think Auburn should have been in? What about Oklahoma, San Diego State? If you believe one of those teams got in or should have gotten in, let us know. Me and Smitty both agree with the committee, at least in that regard. So let's move over to the East region, where the Duke Blue Devils are the number 1 overall seed. They will be playing Siena, the winners of MAC. Jerry McNamara coaching that Siena Saints squad. They'll be taking on Ohio State, TCU, the winner there, assuming Duke moves on. And then a shocker here, Smitty. Kansas, Cal Baptist in the 4-13 matchup with St. John's, the Big East regular season and conference tournament champion, playing Northern Iowa in the 5-12.
Yeah, clearly the committee did not really take into account or put much stock into St. John's out-of-conference resume. They really turned things on once they got to the Big East, kind of a down year for that conference, and so they didn't really reward them there. It's just interesting to see how far apart that St. John's and other Big East contender finalists there, UConn, are in terms of their seed lines.
Yeah, before we move on to the bottom part of this bracket, I mean, this quadrant right here is unbelievable. We both believe St. John's underseeded. I thought they could get to the 3 line after winning the Big East. They are staying on the 5 line, and they get a tough draw against Northern Iowa. But how about a potential Rick Pitino, Bill Self matchup in the round of 32? I don't know if both teams win their first round games, but if they do, that's an all-time game in the round of 32 between Kansas and St. John's. You got Darren Peterson, you got Zuby Ejiofor. That could be an unbelievable matchup on Sunday. These 2 games will take place on Friday. Bottom of the East region, Louisville against South Florida. Brian Hodgson, first year, they get the championship in the AAC. Michigan State falls to the 3 line, play the Bison from North Dakota State. And the bottom of this bracket, UCLA, Central Florida, and then UConn and Furman. I want to focus in on this quadrant right here. Michigan State, North Dakota State, Louisville, South Florida. I legitimately believe, Smitty, 3 of these teams, not including North Dakota State, could be playing in the Sweet 16.
Ooh, that's interesting. Well, when you think about a team like South Florida and matching up with a team like Louisville, it's kind of the battle of no big wins there. I mean, yes, South Florida ran through the AAC, but a very weak AAC there. They have a lot of experience, a lot of continuity on that roster, and Brian Hodgson's one of the more ascending coaches in the country. Pat Kelsey yet to have a tournament win under his resume from his days at college at Charleston and last year at Louisville, falling to Creighton. So like that's kind of put up or shut up time in that 6-11 matchup. I like South Florida there, but Michigan State, I mean, you've kind of been putting the fraud label on them as of late, and you said you like North Dakota State as well.
Yeah, I just haven't been in on Michigan State. They just lack perimeter shooting, and with Jeremy Fears, he's just like such a wild card. You don't want to get from him. Do I think they win their first game? I do. I just have a hard time seeing this Michigan State getting upset. But Louisville of South Florida, I'll be picking the Bulls. But I tell you what, if Louisville wins, that guard play, Michael Brown, Ryan Conwell, they can shoot the ball and they can run Michigan State or South Florida out of the gym if they get hot. Moving over to the West region, Arizona. They are the number 2 overall seed. They'll be playing on Long Island. Fins up, folks. We got Villanova and Utah State in the 8-9. And then how about this quadrant here? You're going to see points. Wisconsin and High Point, and then Arkansas and Hawaii. I think Arizona catches a good draw matchup-wise, but man, oh man, we're going to look at that 4-5 kind of quadrant again because each of these 2 games, I think, could be in the 80s, maybe even the 90s.
Absolutely. Wisconsin, some of the best guard scoring play in the entire country, especially in the Big Ten there with Nick Boyd and John Blackwell. They could fill it up. But we saw High Point, they've been predicated on offense as well. I think it's first to 80 in that game. And then the 4-13 here with Arkansas and Hawaii. Arkansas, they have Darius Acuff. They have Trayvon Brazile. Acuff is just putting out video game numbers at this point. And they match up with a team in Hawaii that plays a very unique style of defense. No help at all. 2-on-2 in terms of ball screens. Guys, don't shade. If you get beat, and they let you score. They were on to force opponents into unassisted makes. I might not be the best course of action against a team like Arkansas.
I have a hard time envisioning Arkansas losing. They're just playing really good basketball. Darius Acuff is made for March.
Yes.
But I do think High Point can take down Wisconsin.
Ooh.
Bottom of the West region. Texas NC State winner will get BYU, Robert Wright, and AJ DeBansta. Gonzaga, surprisingly to me, gets on the 3 line. I thought they were going to be a 4 seed. They'll be playing Kennesaw State on Thursday. And then you have the bottom of this bracket, the Big Ten tournament champions, Purdue Boilermakers, after beating both Michigan and Nebraska en route to that championship. They'll take on Queens from the ASUN. Miami of Florida and Missouri is an interesting game here. I'll tell you what, I think Gonzaga is going to pretty easily get to the Sweet 16, and it all depends on the health of Braden Huff. They've got Graham Ike. They got Tyron Grant Foster. Could they potentially get to the Elite 8? They are athletic. They match up well with Purdue inside, potentially. That's a fascinating route for Gonzaga there, Smitty.
Yeah, as long as Braden Huff is out there and healthy, this team has a chance to beat anybody. Graham Ike, one of the more experienced players in all of college basketball. Mario St. Supri is good up there, too. Like, Mark Few is perennially a second weekend guy. Now, last year was a little bit down. They were an 8 seed. They lost in the round of 32, but they've kind of really wrote the ship this past year, 30-3 overall in a good WCC, by the way. So I think they could absolutely make some noise here.
More bracket coverage to come here, but make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications because here at Chat Sports, we have you covered in college basketball, NFL, NBA, college football. And guess what, folks? We will be live on Thursday and Friday for the round of 64 games. I'll be live on Thursday breaking down the action. Smitty will be live on Friday having the fun. So subscribe and make sure you join us for our live streams that come later this week. Moving over to the Midwest region, the Michigan Wolverines lost to the Big Ten championship game. They are still a 1 seed, 3rd overall. They'll be playing the winner of UMBC and Howard. Those 2 16 seeds battle out in Dayton on Tuesday. Georgia, St. Louis, 2 interesting, high-powered offenses. I would think Georgia gets the win there. Their athleticism and shooting might be too much for St. Louis. But then another really interesting 4, 5, 12, 13 grouping here in Texas Tech and Akron. The Zips were arguably just as good, if not better, than Miami of Ohio this season. Alabama takes on Hofstra. I'm a big fan of the Crimson Tide, but the Hofstra, they were 87th in KenPom this year. I think they were underseeded. They should have been on the 12 line if you're asking me. So tough draw for Alabama, but we know the Crimson Tide on any given night can drop 100 on you and beat you no matter who they're playing. They can also lose to almost anybody. I do think I'll go with Alabama on this one, but it's no easy task for Nate Oates.
I mean, the coaches in this quadrant here, Grant McCaslin and John Groce going at it in Texas Tech and Akron. Akron's a team who's made the dance before. They're knocking on the door, and their only loss in MAC play was to Miami, Ohio. Then you look at Nate Oates and Speedy Claxton down there, two up-and-coming, kind of younger coaches over there in that 4-13 matchup. Very high-powered offenses as well. I think that'll be a lot of fun, and we'll see some fireworks in that game.
Moving down to the Midwest region here, the bottom half, Tennessee takes on the winner of Miami, Ohio, and SMU. So you'll have the Redhawks and Mustangs playing on Wednesday in Dayton. I think Tennessee probably takes care of business there, but Virginia, the 3 line, shocked by that a little bit, take on the Rising League champs in Wright State, and you have a really fun game on Friday between Kentucky and Santa Clara. Kentucky at their best can really compete with anyone, but we've seen them put up some real stinkers at times this season. Iowa State played really well, barely lost to Arizona in the Big 12 semifinals. They get Tennessee State. I think it's a good draw for the Cyclones, by the way. I thought Tennessee State should have been on the 16 line. They're ultimately on the 15 line. But that Kentucky-Santa Clara game, man, that's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun. Santa Clara is super well coached. They spread it out. They don't like one guy. Yes, they have a guy Christian Hammond, but outside of him, they don't really rely on one man to go out there and get the job done. They play as a unit, and they really put things together over the last few weeks in the WCC. Kentucky, very up and down, right? Some fans out there for the Wildcats want Mark Pope gone, and I'm not all the way there yet, but they're absolutely streaky. They don't have a ton of great wins, especially in the non-con. Iowa State, they struggle to score a lot. T.J. Otzelberger is a great coach, but he always seems to have a ceiling in the NCAA tournament, and I don't know how far that will be. Dark horse, Santa Clara to maybe make the second weekend.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I know Toge always pretty good. Santa Clara might have the best player in that game, Ellen Graves. He's getting a lot of NBA buzz, folks. But grab some Chat Sports gear right now. We just launched some merchandise over the last month. Chatsports.com/merch is where you can find it. We've got hats, we've got t-shirts, we've got hoodies, we've got a bunch of different styles, a bunch of different sizes, colors. You can get it in any way you want. Go grab yours right now. One more time, chatsports.com/merch. Link is in the description and comments of today's video. High quality stuff. Go rep the brand right now. Moving on to the final region, that is the South region. Florida, 1 seed once again. They'll be playing the winner of Lehigh and Prairie View A&M. Clemson and Iowa face off in the 8-9 game, and this is the one time I'll say I'm not fascinated by the 4-5 matchups because Vanderbilt, Tennessee, McNeese, Troy, the games might be fun. But when I look at those two teams in Nebraska and Vanderbilt real quickly, Smitty, I know Vanderbilt just beat Florida, but I don't believe any of those teams could make it to the second weekend beyond. Obviously someone's going to be in the Sweet 16, but I don't see any of them making it to the Elite 8.
No, not with Florida at the top there, who's been playing incredibly well. Yes, they just got run off the floor by Vanderbilt, but is Todd Golden really going to lose to an opponent twice in a year? I don't know if he's done that over the last 2 seasons. Troy, interesting though. Nebraska still never won an NCAA tournament game. They started the season as hot as anybody, but wheels have kind of fallen off as of late. They've been eking out some wins against some maybe subpar teams. Whenever they match up with Purdue or any of the Titans of the Big Ten, they get worked. So I'm not so sure how big of I'm a believer in them. And Troy, they've been knocking on the door the last couple of years from the Sun Belt.
Bottom of the South region here, VCU automatic qualifiers from the A10 takes on the Caleb Wilson-less North Carolina Tar Heels. If the Rams can take care of Henry Vasar inside, they could be poised to get a win over North Carolina. Illinois, projected to be a 2 seed, ends up being on the 3 line. They'll play Penn, who upset Yale in the Ivy League championship game. TJ Power, named to watch there for Penn, went for 43 and 14. St. Mary's, the Gales, Randy Bennett, 7 seed. They'll take on Texas A&M. I like the Gales. I've just been out on A&M. The Aggies, don't think they're very good. They have no good wins this season, struggled in the SEC. And then you have the bracket rounded out by Houston and Idaho. Unfortunately for Idaho, underseeded, should have been on the 14 line. Instead, they're on the 15 line, and they get Houston.
Randy Bennett and the St. Mary's Gales. Perennial 7-10 matchup. Like
have they ever not been in the 7-10? I'll give them maybe 1 year.
I think they were like a 5-12. I think they played
6-11 sometimes.
I think they played in the 5-12 against Grand Canyon a couple years ago, and every other year they're sitting there. They're in the 7-10. And they play the same exact way. He runs a tight ship up there. We'll see if he's able to get another win.
Before Smitty and I give you our early Final Four and national championship predictions, I got to hear from you guys first. Who will win 2026 March Madness? Get down in the comment section and let us know. Prove to us that you know more ball than us. But as we round out today's video, early predictions, won't hold you to it. A lot can change between now and Thursday when the games tip off. First glance, though, Smitty, I think out of the East region, I'm nervous of Duke with those injuries. But I do think the Blue Devils get it done. They've just been historically dominant this season. So I'll go with Duke out of the East. Out of the West, Arizona cakewalks. I think they got a great draw. Wildcats are my national title pick. I'll let you know more about that here in a second. But then out of the South region, I'm going to go with Houston. I think they get revenge on Florida. I like the front court of Chris Senek, Joju Tugler. I think he can compete with Florida. I'll still take Florida's front court, but I'll take Houston's back court, because I like Kingston Flemings a lot.
Yes.
I like the experience they have in Milos Uzan and Emmanuel Sharp.
Yep.
They want revenge. I do not trust Xavier Lee. I do not trust Boogie Fland in the big moments. I'll take Houston to go to the Final Four out of the South region, and then out of the Midwest. Even though I'm shaky on them, I'm still going to go with Michigan. So I've got Arizona, Michigan. I've got then Houston and Duke. I'll have a Duke-Arizona national championship game, and I'll take Tommy Lloyd. Grab your passports to Indianapolis. Wildcats get the win.
Wow. I hate to go super similarly to you there, but my preseason national title pick, the Michigan Wolverines, I still have them making it to Indianapolis. I really think that Arizona got the best draw in the entire tournament. Unfortunately for Duke, the #1 overall seed gets absolutely boned with that East bracket, with how much coaching prestige and how much the blue bloodness there is in that bracket. So I don't know if I would go with the Duke Blue Devils out of the East region at this point. I had concerns about who they throw the ball to in closing seconds if a game gets tight. I think the only way that they make it into Indianapolis is if they roll everybody in their path, which is completely possible. But I'm going to go with Michigan and Arizona. Are they able to play in the national title game?
No, I believe they're both on the same side.
Okay, so if they're on the same side, unfortunately, I will have them matching up in the Final Four. I like Houston. And then the 2 seed in the East region, in Duke's region, is
UConn.
Give me Danny Hurley. Give me Danny Hurley with the experience. Duke, UConn, Elite 8. I think I'm taking Hurley there. So, and I will go with Michigan to win the national title over Houston. Kelvin Sampson comes short one more time.
It's be tough for the Houston Cougars fans to swallow that pill for a second straight year. That will do it for this video. Appreciate everybody who watched our live show. Appreciate everybody who watched this video. We'll be live on Thursday and Friday for March Madness round of 64. I'll be live on Thursday with producer Jeffrey Cooperstein. Smitty will be live on Friday with producer Mike
or Parker, and then
Mike
Parker
or Parker,
and
one of the two. But it'll be a lot of fun. Subscribe and join us for more March Madness coverage. Super chat from SCY. I know they are a 7 seed, but Miami is my dark horse team this year. I like the Hurricanes. Jay Lucas has done an incredible job in year 1 down in South Florida. Trey Donaldson, Malik Reno.
Yeah, Reno's
they've played
nasty.
really well this year. I think they can make noise. I like them in that game against Missouri. I just do not think they have enough size inside to compete with Purdue. Their duo of Trey Kaufman-Renn, I know somebody doesn't like them, but then the Clough, those two guys can dominate. You have experience in Brain Smith, all American guard, Fletcher Lawyer. Cox can knock down some shots. I'm a big fan of Purdue. It's the reason why I had them as my preseason national title pick. Do I think they win the Natty? No, but I think they do make it to the second weekend.
I'm going to take the Miami Hurricanes to beat them.
Do you think Miami gets to the Sweet 16?
I think Miami makes it to the Sweet 16. They've done it before. They've had I know obviously with Jim Larinaga last time and in his kind of swan song, they make the Final Four. But this is a program that has surprised a lot of people in the NCAA tournament. And I think with the job that Jai Lucas has done this year, the experience that they have on that roster, I think they have as good a chance as anybody in this little quadrant here to get to the second weekend.
Now, Dylan Heck is sending a $5 super chat. We appreciate you, Dylan, saying Miami's best non-con win is Wright State, by the way. That is not referring to the Hurricanes, who we just talked about. He is talking about Miami of Ohio. You are not incorrect. Their best non-con win is at Wright State, so it's in the building of the Horizon League champs. Hey, they have a win over 2 teams in the field.
Who? I guess Akron. Yeah, Akron.
Akron and Wright State, Miami, Ohio. Those are the only 2 wins. I'll be honest. I think Miami, Ohio deserved to be in the tournament. I really do believe that because you go 31-0. You complete an undefeated regular season. I don't care what conference you're in. I mean, I do care a little bit because if it's in like the Southland Conference, do you deserve to get in? Probably not. But the MAC is at least respectable enough to where you're playing solid competition on a nightly
Toledo's
basis.
always good. Akron's always good.
So the fact they were able to go 31-0 is impressive. It would set a horrible precedent if they didn't get in.
Especially over a team like Auburn.
Yeah, correct. But then you're basically saying we don't care about your regular season.
Yeah, wins
if
don't
you're
matter.
a mid-major, win your tournament, or that's it. That's a terrible precedent.
Yes.
So you had to get them in. Do I think they get boat raced by SMU? I do, because they have a really good guard, Boopy Miller.
Yep.
Coop, who's that guy that I forget? I space on his name all the time. Number 5.
Pierre.
Pierre.
Oh, Jaden Pierre?
He is unbelievable. I watched him in person. They took down Louisville in their own building.
Yeah.
Pierre can play. I think SMU hammers Miami of Ohio, and then it's going to create a larger discussion. But, yes, Miami of Ohio did deserve to get in.
Yep. They absolutely deserve to get in. Given the tightness of a lot of their wins and losing the quarterfinals rather than the final of the MAC tournament.
Yeah.
If they lose to Akron in the MAC final, they're probably not in Dayton, right?
Honestly, I would probably agree with that. But when you lose to incapable of submission Frank Martin and UMass in the quarterfinal, that's a tough look.
And UMass gets blasted the next day.
It's just not great.
Not great there.
Man. Okay, so we've went through all the bracket. Smitty, do you have any lasting thoughts? We will stay live. We still got over 2,000 people watching. If you guys got super chats, you guys want questions, want to create talking points, we will stay live on the channel here. But if not, we'll let you enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. So while we wait to see if any super chats do come in, Smitty, any thoughts overarching about the bracket?
I think the committee had no balls this year. They got it all right. There was no controversy whatsoever, really outside of St. John's on the 5 line versus UConn on the 2. I don't mind them not caring or them not putting as much stock into the Big East regular season and Big East tournament because St. John's didn't have any good wins in the out-of-conference. But for there to be a 3-seed line difference, it's a total of 12 to 16 teams apart. I don't think UConn and St. John's are 12 to 16 teams apart.
I would agree. Now, on that St. John's discussion, both of us, I agree. They're underseeded. I thought they could get to the 3 line, at worst 4 line.
Yes.
Now, what 4 seed would you put St. John's over, though? In their own bracket, it's Kansas.
Yep.
And I know Kansas has had some really good moments this year, really bad moments, but Kansas has unbelievable wins. They've beaten Houston and Arizona.
Yep, that's massive.
At their best, Kansas can win a national championship.
Agreed.
But they also could be losing in the first game.
Yep.
And there's a lot of teams like that this year. But so you look at the 4 line, Kansas, Arkansas, can't put them above Arkansas.
Not the SEC champ.
Alabama, and by the way, Alabama beat St. John's.
Yeah, and that's the difference.
And that's why I think they're a 4 seed in St. John's a 5. And then Nebraska. So if you're looking at it, I think Nebraska would be the one team I could say, all right, St. John's is better than. But you also went into today with the notion that Nebraska's on the 3 line.
Yeah,
and
they kind of got.
I think Nebraska was going to be on the 3 line, and then you had some weird, wonky events happen in the tournaments, like Illinois go out early. You had Purdue win the Big Ten. Michigan State loses early, and then it moves Michigan State down, which then moves Nebraska down. Purdue goes up. So, I think Nebraska fell because of weird events in the Big Ten tournament. But, I do have a hard time finding teams that St. John's should have been seeded over, even though we both agree they should not be a 5 seed.
Yeah, I mean, the Nebraska thing is weird, though. They recently lose. They get boat raced by UCLA. They get boat raced by Purdue in the Big Ten tournament. I mean, they barely beat. They lose to Iowa, who's on the 9 line here. They barely go out there and beat Rutgers. They're kind of limping to the end over the last month, and I think St. John's personally is a better team than Nebraska Cornell.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like I said, if you had to choose 1-4 seed, it would clearly be Nebraska. Hard to put them over Kansas with their resume, even though they've had bad losses. They have unbelievable wins. It's hard to put them over Arkansas, who just won the SEC tournament and is playing really good ball. And it's hard to put them over Alabama, considering in the non-con, games matter, folks. This is in college football.
Yep.
Alabama beat St. John's, I believe, in the Garden.
Yes.
I don't think it was not a home game. It's considered a neutral site game, but it was in the Garden, which is where St. John's plays a lot of home games.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this: if you guys want a piece of chaos, if you want a little chaos, see a team that's 4 seed or lower actually, have a shot at making it to Indianapolis. Think about this kind of trajectory of events. Kansas goes down. If you want chaos, Kansas goes down to Cal Baptist in that 4-13.
Chaos.
St. John's beats Northern Iowa because I don't think you're going to get both upsets there.
It'd be stunning.
Duke, injuries. Sometimes they struggle at the end of games if it's going to be tight. St. John's could beat Duke in the Sweet 16.
I'll go one step farther. Duke they're historically good.
Yes.
They're number 1 overall seed for a reason. They also have a lot of injuries. Is Patrick Nongba going to play? Got foot injury.
Yep.
We already know Caleb Foster is out for the year.
Yep.
I would not put it past Ohio State or TCU taking it down.
TCU is a team I could see, just
TCU, by the way.
Shock and awe, TCU.
This was before they started playing good basketball. People forget they were a hair away from beating Michigan.
Yep.
Back in November, their own building.
Yeah, in Michigan.
No, it was in TCU.
Oh, it was in TCU. It was in TCU.
Yeah.
They also have marquee wins over Wisconsin, Florida in the non-con. They've beaten Iowa State. They've beaten Texas Tech. They've beaten a lot of the top teams in the Big 12 there, but they also have losses to, I'm pretty sure they have losses to New Orleans, in the beginning.
They
of the
did.
season.
They lost their first game of the year to
Yeah.
New Orleans, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so, they up and down.
And then you look at, Ohio State, their non-con isn't really impressive at all, but they turned it on in conference play here. They lost to Virginia in a battle, by the way, but they beat Wisconsin. They beat Purdue at home. They took Michigan down to the wire in their conference tournament game.
Yep.
They beat Iowa, who's a tournament team. They beat Indiana late. Ohio State's been playing good over the last couple of weeks, but I really do think TCU, if they play their best,
they can beat anybody.
Can beat Duke.
Yep.
It would take a really good game, but I think they could beat Duke.
They've already shown us they can beat other 1 seeds. They can beat other top seeds in this tournament. So who's to say that they can't shock the world here?
And I have a hard time. I know St. John's playing better, picking them because they weren't very good in the non-con.
They weren't good in the non-con. They were an early exit last year.
That Arkansas loss scars me in the round of 32.
I agree. And sometimes this team goes through stretches where they can't hit the ocean if they fell out of a boat. So yes, if you get St. John's at their best, they're elite. They're very good defensively, and they can score in bunches. But then there's other days where they look like they never touched a basketball before, and that can be a hiccup when you got to win 4 or 5 games in a row.
I tell you what, just briefly, I'm picking TCU to win that game against Ohio State.
I agree.
And I think I don't know what the spread will be, Smitty. We're both betting man. I don't know what the spread's gonna be. I'm taking TCU plus against Duke.
Plus the points against Duke would probably be like 12.5, 13.
You think? I was gonna say it's 9.5. I'll still take it.
Yeah,
I think that's a 1 possession game with 2 minutes to go.
I love that. I love that idea.
I mean, Duke's good, but they just barely. I mean, Virginia's good. They barely beat them. They were in a battle in the quarterfinals against Florida State. Who, by the way, quick sidebar, Florida State was playing phenomenal down the stretch.
They almost made a run. They took Duke down to the wire.
Exactly. So I think TCU can take Duke down to the wire in that game.
TCU did win 9 of 11 before they lost in the Big 12 tournament game.
Yeah, they
TCU's
finished
hot,
unbelievable.
Man. And that hurts me to say because I root against TCU.
I root against TCU as well.
We are TCU antis, but I do have to take off the bias hat and just say, all right, who's been playing good, who's got the talent, and I think TCU has a chance to make a run. They could be the darlings this year.
So somebody say, what makes St. Mary's better than Texas A&M? I mean, if you're just looking at it from the view of they play in the SEC versus they play in the WCC, first of all, St. Mary's waxed Santa Clara off the floor a couple days ago before they actually ended up losing to them in the WCC tournament. Like, they have wins in the non-con over Northern Iowa, a good mid-major, the winners of the MVC. They've beaten. They get worked by Vandy, but that was a little bit of a revenge game for the Commodores there back in November. Like, they handled Virginia Tech. Like, they beat a good Wichita State team that made the AAC title game. St. Mary's is good. They're super well coached. They always to make the right decisions out there on the court. Like, I can't say the same about Texas A&M.
Yeah, I'm low on A&M. We both know this. We knew they were going to be in the tournament, and we both put them on the fraud list, and they're 10th. They're a 10 seed.
They're a 10 seed. They're fraudulent for even getting in.
Correct. Ashton Genty Burner wants me to do the fins up. Fins up! I love the fins up, man.
It's good stuff.
Love
it's good stuff.
The fins.
There's nothing better than low major college basketball, okay? They call me Power 5 Smitty. There's nothing better than an arena of 120 people all spread out all over the place, $3 concessions, and maybe there's throw up on the floor at some point during the game. Maybe a fire alarm goes. I love that those teams, those programs come together in this tournament to play with the Dukes, to play with the Kentuckys, to play with the North Carolinas, and sometimes they lose.
You're a shill for the P5.
No,
yeah, and
absolutely not.
By the way, I am so happy. This is why college basketball is better than college football. Shout out, Coop.
100%.
Because, one, in college football, you no longer could say Power 5. You have to say Power 4.
Yep.
It's just the ACC, it's the SEC, Big
I'll
10,
say it in college basketball,
Big 12.
too.
No, well,
I don't count yours as the fifth Power
it-
5.
Oh, really? The only
thinking
two out of
I
three
don't
national
count
titles.
it.
Only
thinking
two.
the Big East is in a power conference
I don't
in
count
basketball is ridiculous.
First of all, they spend more money than the teams sometimes in the Big Ten and the SEC.
and they have
Big
the
12.
most. No, I can't say that. confidently. But
They
they
have two of
did
the-
have a team go back to back just a couple of years ago.
Two of the last three natties from the Big East.
Yeah, I was gonna say they
Villanova
have
dominated.
they have the most championships as a conference over the last 5 years. I don't think I could say that though.
Tom Save saying Smitty wants to take away the automatic qualifier. Absolutely not. I am not Seth Davis.
That would be crazy.
That would be insane.
That'd
It's
be
something
Seth
that
Davis wants to take away the AQ.
Seth Davis wants to ruin the
That's a
sport
joke.
every day. You just look at his Twitter. He gets in beefs all day.
All right, so no super chats. We're gonna sign off with this. We both gave our predictions, early predictions, subject to change. Final
Oh, we did
four.
get a super chat.
Oh, we did just at the moment.
At
Here
the
we
buzzer.
go. At the buzzer. We'll answer the super chat, and then we will give two potential Cinderellas to
Okay.
round out the show. Because
like that.
This whole thing is built off Cinderellas.
Yep. And we didn't really get many last year, so.
So we're going to look at two Cinderellas, a.k.a. double-digit seeds that can make a run to the Sweet 16 Elite 8. We'll give two of them. We'll alternate, snake draft, if you will. I'll give pick number 1. You could have pick 2 and 3.
I love it.
And then I'll move back to the final pick,
Ooh.
and then we'll round out the show.
We're going to draft some. I like that.
We're going to draft them, yeah. By the way, I used to play a game with my friends back in high school, and we used to literally get together at lunch and draft. Only 10 seeds or higher,
Oh.
and whoever made it the farthest. Not overall wins. Whatever team made it the farthest gets the money pool.
Oh, that's great. I like that idea.
We each got 3 picks, and it was like 7 or 8 of us, I think, and we just went back and forth. So, I mean, we basically had everybody. But
Maybe we'll have to work something out like that in the Chat Sports offices here.
yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. Listen, I'd bring that back.
There was no 12-seed or lower last year, correct?
No.
Yeah.
The only 11 to win was Colorado State.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, shout out Camden.
Shout Camden with 10. Tough break for Kentucky, but if they get past Santa Clara, could they make it to the Elite 8 and beyond? Listen, I think I'm picking Santa Clara. I'm sorry, Camden. I just really like what they have over there, and I like Alan Graves. I like their way of playing ball unselfishly, and anybody could beat you on any given night.
Yep.
And I think Santa Clara wins. Tough draw. But if they do get past them, do I think they could beat Iowa State? I think Iowa State isn't as good as many people believe. Just not a fan of Joshua Jefferson. I know that's just me. And I like Momcilovic, but if you take him away, that team can get really lackadaisical offensively at times. So there is a pathway. Kentucky's got to play its best basketball. They've been better over the last couple months. Not putting it past them. I just don't think it's likely.
That team goes as Otega Owe goes, and sometimes he can have an off game, and Kentucky usually loses those games, to be honest. And Jaden Cantons, he was hurt at the beginning of the year, just didn't really come along as far and as impactful as you were hoping. A guy was a presumptive top 10
How did
pick.
you say his name?
I don't even know how to say it.
Quaintance.
Quaintance, as a Keontons. Yeah, he's a guy who's presumptive top 10 pick in the draft and just really hasn't jumped off the page at all this year. So the Kentucky is a little bit lackadaisical. Like they're just not super inspiring of a team to make a deep run.
Yeah.
Santa Clara's beating them.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so Smitty, let's round out the show with a snake draft of 10 seeds or higher.
Okay.
You know what? Should we do 10 seeds or should we make it 11 or higher?
I think 10 is fine
10's fine.
because you have mid-majors on that line.
All right. I'm going to go fun, and I'm going to leave you your pick so you can flaunt them. This is a very nice thing of me. I hope you know what I'm doing.
Okay.
My pick of Cinderellas that can make a run, I'm going to take a 12 seed, and that's going to be Akron. The Zips out of the MAC.
For the first pick, I did not think you were going to go that route.
Reason why I have the 12-seeded Akron as my pick. I think, I mentioned this, they are just as good, if not better, than Miami of Ohio this year. Akron, 64th in KenPom this season. So they are higher than Ole Miss, Arizona State, McNeese, Colorado, Providence, Wake Forest, Cal. Many people thought Cal could have been on the bubble.
Yeah.
They have been just as good, folks. And I think when you see a matchup in Texas Tech they're missing their best player, JT Toppin. They've played without him for the last 2 or 3 weeks, so I know they've gotten used to it. But if Akron is able to contain Christian Anderson, who's going to be a first-round pick, it's a really good guard, the rest of that Texas Tech team is not as good. And I think Akron can get a win there. And then if they play the winner of Alabama-Hofstra, you catch Alabama on the right night, I don't even think you got to be anything crazy. You just got to catch Alabama on the right night.
Give me the Zips.
And I think the Zips could beat them. I mean, this is hypotheticals, but if you want a Cinderella that can make it to the second weekend, I think Akron is a team that I firmly believe in.
All right. So since you had me all, planned out, since you had me telegraphed, who do you think that I'm drafting here?
I would have assumed you're going to take South Florida with one of your 2 picks.
South Florida will be my first pick. The USF Bulls, Brian Hodgson, Isaiah Nelson, Josh Ajomafo, Joseph Pinion. They've been in the system for a minute now. They've been knocking on the door of the NCAA Tournament last year and the year before in the Sun Belt, and now they finally got the job done in the AAC. Look, these guys just play with a ton of intensity. They can get really hot from beyond the arc, and it's not just one guy that goes out there and does it. Isaiah Nelson, also, when you consider the matchup against Louisville, they do not have the front court that can bang down low with this guy. He's like 25 years old at this point. He can score. He can take you off the dribble. He had an insane baseline dunk today in the game against Wichita State in the AAC title. Like, he's an energy guy and a name that people are going to be knowing throughout March here. My second pick, as I'm probably getting killed.
They also have a great coach in Brian Hodgson.
They do have a great coach in Brian Hodgson. Great coach from a great region of the United States, Western New York. And it's also a homecoming game for him up in Buffalo. He coached with Nate Oates at UB. And it's going to be a lot of people up there. He goes up and watches Bills games a lot there, too. My next pick, I'm going to go with Santa Clara. I think that's pretty chalk out of the Smith camp here.
Maybe it's Chalky Smitty.
It's maybe it's chalk Smitty. Like they're just incredibly unselfish. They're incredibly well coached. They got a good matchup with Kentucky there in the 7-10, and I don't think that they're in a spot where they're guaranteed to lose once they get to the round of 32 to that 2 seed. They play a team at Iowa State that I can't pinpoint and say what kind of game they're going to have on any given night. Like they could be putting up 45, 50 points, or they could, actually get hot and lock a team down and beat them by 25. Like you never know what Iowa State you're getting. Usually they are consistent, but against a team in Santa Clara they haven't seen before, I could see them as a second weekend team.
All right, my second pick here. I am going to go with the Sun Belt champions, Troy.
Ooh, the Trojans.
13 seed. They play 4th seeded Nebraska, who we are both really low on.
Yes.
If they were to win that game, Smitty, they then place Vanderbilt and McNeese winner. I am not sold on Vanderbilt. I am not sold on McNeese. Troy has a couple of great performances this year. They're around the 140 range in KenPom, so nothing crazy. But they beat San Diego State, who was on the bubble, on the road, 108-107. They barely lost to USC, who nothing special, but 107-106, Power 4 team there on the road. They beat UAB on the road. I just really do believe that this Troy team, they've been knocking on the door for a while. You mentioned it. They're a well-balanced team. They have 4 players that score double digits. Their leading score average is 14.8 points a game. And they could beat you outside. They could beat you inside. As a team, they shoot 33% from 3. Not the best, not the worst. Shoot 74% from the free throw line. Free throws matter for teams that are trying to pull off an upset. Take a team that shoots 75%. It's not bad whatsoever. Not sold on Nebraska, as I mentioned. And if they were to win, I think they could absolutely get another upset over Vanderbilt or McNeese. So that's why I'm going with Troy as my other upset team. So I didn't go close to the 10 line. I went much more close to the true Cinderella, the 12, the 13. I took Akron, and I took Troy.
Okay. And that's it. We're just doing 2 and 2?
Yeah, we're just doing 2 and 2.
All right. I like it. If I'm going to throw another shout out there, VCU, I think has a decent enough draw.
I don't think they could beat Illinois, but they could beat North Carolina.
They could beat North Carolina. Yeah, that's kind of why I didn't go with Cal Baptist either, because I think they could beat Kansas, but if they ran into a St. John's or whoever the heck in that quadrant, even if they ran into Northern Iowa or something like that, I'm not sure they would come away with that win.
All right. That's going to do it for our March Madness, Selection Sunday special. Another great year. 73K plus people tuned in. Picked up over 500 subscribers. Over $200 in super chats. We have a bracket. We will be live, as we mentioned, on Thursday for the round of 64 games. I'll be live with producer Cope. Smitty will be live on Friday with producer Parker. And it will be a lot of fun. We'll be live for the Final Four and the National Championship game as well. So subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate all of you guys coming over and hanging out with us on these streams because it shows our bosses that we should do more college basketball content.
Yes.
It's been a blast. As always, Smitty.
Of course.
Thank you, producer Coop.
Yep.
He was a legend today.
Show doesn't go without him.
And appreciate everybody at home watching. For Smitty, Coop, and Rolly, peace out.